You're listening to the A3K Network on Anime3000.com. Warning. The views and opinions expressed by this producer are not necessarily the views and opinions expressed by Anime 3000, its producers, partners, or affiliates. Listener discretion is advised. Welcome back to another exciting edition of the A3K Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Russell, the executive producer and ringmaster of the A3K Network. As always, we're joined by the other side's Cody Byer and Manga Corner's JD Banks. On this episode, Cody and Sean answer a voicemail about Type Moon, JD gives us a tutorial on how to be an artist, and the crew solves the mystery of Tezuka's secret porn stash. All this and more on the A3K Podcast. And welcome to the A3K Podcast. I was so tempted to say the other side. But today, as always, we have JD Banks and Cody Byer.
Hello.
And we're going to be talking about anime and manga and other cool things. And if it's like any of our other episodes, we might even start talking about ABC Family, which, which seems to be... Oh, no, wait. I'm kidding. Wait, come back. We're going to go straight into the what you've been doing. And according to our secretary, which is Cody, I'm just kidding, which is JD. You know, I was kidding when I said a guy. I'm just joking again. I just have to
Tumblr's going to get mad.
Yeah, Sean Russell's already pissed off 5 people with his sexist and misogynistic behavior and attitudes. And speaking of sexist and misogynistic, what I've been doing is reading Berserk. I'm kidding. I don't really know if it is that, but it is interesting that the reason I decided to read this for the first time, even though I watched a lot of the series, is because a lot of people have been talking about this being one of the best manga series ever written. And that's not just our drawn. This is not just Cody. It's come up over the last few months. People occasionally reference it. And
you guys in a mic did a fantastic episode on Berserk.
And that might be another reason, subconsciously, why I wanted to read it. Also, I didn't listen to their episode. This week, I feel like Cody. I'm surprised I had time to even mention anime and manga in this episode. But I did read it. I got about maybe a few chapters in, and I do remember why I did like the series. Like the first chapter, it didn't dawn on me until after they got their first major fight against. And I just read this against that. Say it again.
The Count.
That's the same thing as that demon. That
the big snake dude.
No, it was like a bullish looking demon.
Bull.
He was like
Nosferatu. That's way later.
Well, that was chapter 1 that I read. That was from like chapter. They fought. Okay, it started off with Gats running into fighting a whole army by himself, and then Griffith came in.
No, that's not. If you said Griffith, that's nowhere near chapter 1. That's way later. Chapter 1 was like the very beginning of chapter 1. He's having sex with some woman who turns into a demon, tries to kill him, and then he kills the demon, and he goes on his merry way.
So maybe what I'm reading is mixed up because they put it in order of the anime.
No, because even the anime, what you're talking, the dude was he like big and hairy?
And you know what? They had a whole bunch of zeros, chapter zeros, and I skipped that and went to where it said chapter 1. Could that have been it?
I think by chapter, it's not talking about like manga chapter. It's talking about story chapter.
Oh, is it one of those things where it's mixed up and you have to find the right chronology?
I think it's on the edition, actually.
Yeah, I mean, the stuff that's in the anime adapts what's called the Golden Age arc, which is like the middle of the anime, which is like the flashback, because it starts like kind of in media res, but not really. It's like Guts He's already the Black Swordsman. He's been traveling. He's got his giant sword. He's killing these monsters you later find out are called apostles. He's killing apostles. First he kills this one, looks like a giant cobra. Then he kills this fat dude that turns into a caterpillar-looking thing. And after those two stories, the first one's really short, the second one's a little longer. And then at the end of the second one, you see the God Hand. You see that you see the member of God Hand, Femto, who you know is Griffith. And you see... That's not a spoiler. Everybody knows that by now.
I didn't know that.
It tells you right at that chapter, like before you even see the flashback. So when you go into the flashback...
Are you talking about the first couple of chapters it says this?
Yeah. Like in the like right when he runs into the God Hand, he sees Femto, he's like, Griffith! And so you go into the flashback. That's kind of what's cool about it. You go into the flashback knowing this Griffith guy and this Guts guy end up like this. They turn this. How the hell do they get to that point? Especially see later, it's like, they're being kind of buddies. Why
when does he get an eye patch? Because I'm looking at this very first chapter in the thing where I'm seeing it, and he has an eye patch. Is that like later? Is that a spoiler?
That's late, yeah, because he, in the present time, he doesn't have an eye.
Websites.
He doesn't have an eye in the present time. So, but he doesn't really wear an eye patch. I think he wears an eye patch maybe right after the eclipse.
It says chapter 1 and son of a bitch.
Also the manga, it has different imprints, actually.
Yeah, send a link to me there. I'll take a look at what
it's actually an app.
Oh, damn.
Damn.
Because you have Jet Comics who published the first manga, and then you have also a translation co-published agreement between Dark Horse Comics and Digital Manga Publishing. So you might have a different edition that might start off differently. So.
All right, I'll get with you guys, and you can help me out because I really like what I'm watching, and this is definitely following the anime. Because I remember seeing what I'm reading right now. I remember knowing what was going to happen, and I definitely didn't read the manga. So, I'm glad I mentioned it to you guys because I would have probably been like all over the place saying, "Oh my gosh, Berserk is kind of overrated." Well,
Berserk is. I'm going to tell you now. I got to warn you because you think you saw the anime, you didn't see nothing yet because Berserk is graphic. And I mean that in every sense of the word. Like, there are rape scenes, and it's not like a guy will tackle a woman and then it cuts away. No, you will experience the horrors of that rape because you have to. Because Berserk is the only manga I have ever seen that contains something that I never thought I would speak, and that is tasteful rape. Because, like, Berserk will depict everything. And it's like, oh, it's just for shock value. But no, it's there to get into your head. Because this is the Dark Ages, motherfucker. This isn't Lord of the Rings fantasy. This is this is fucking how awful that era of knights and kings really was. But now we have fantasy in it, but it's still real world awful. And we're going to make you feel it.
Figuratively and literally.
And it's like, oh, I should hate this, but damn it, your story is so good. How are you so brilliant? Oh my God, there's like no bad characters.
So the copy on the back of the book will read the first rape scene that you should actually watch because it'll make you feel it, both literally and figuratively.
Yeah. Well, you know the creator, he has a lot of art. His art books, Kentaro Miura. His stuff is really famous, and it's actually very good. I actually was able to read some of it here in Japanese, and it's so amazing, like all the artwork he has, because he's
probably the greatest comic artist alive. Like, wow. His chapters aren't even that long, but it will sometimes take me a long time to get through them because then I'll hit like a big establishing shot that I just have to look at for an hour.
So,
and what makes it even more impressive, a lot of manga authors have assistants to help them speed things along. Miura does it all by himself. So then you look at that.
And his stuff takes a long time to come out, actually. So,
even the last chapter just came out last month.
Like, even longer because he keeps getting distracted because apparently he's addicted to Idolmaster, or was at one point.
Idolmaster, isn't that show with those idols?
It's like, it's a game where it's like you're supposed to be a manager and you pick an idol girl and you try to get her famous. It's a kind of a losery game, but I forgive him for liking it because he's Kentaro fucking Miura. He's built up enough cool points to do stuff like that. Like when you
Not everybody can do that though.
Exactly. But when you basically that's how much you have to do to get away with something like that. You have to make berserk.
That's like the bar. That's the bar of being able to do things where Cody will forgive you.
Yeah.
Like, have you made berserk? No. Then you were watching a loser show for loser people.
Exactly. Like,
make Cody your manager.
You need
in life.
Like something like that to get you enough brownie points. It was like, all right, I'll let you do it. Go ahead.
What have you done? Oh, I've only created a serum that allows you. That's not berserk. You can't do that. You don't have an excuse.
Did you create one of the greatest stories ever told? Then you're a loser.
I created the cure for cancer. Is that berserk? Nope. It doesn't matter.
You created the cure for cancer? Okay, I'll let you get 4 levels in. You go to level 5, you're a loser.
So, Sean, what else have you been doing?
I'm glad you asked, JD. I also watched Berserk. No, I'm kidding. Hunter x Hunter, of course. Catching up with that. I don't know if the time we did the last podcast that they had that one episode that everyone has been talking about. The episode that changes the face of existence, that has the fight scene that changes all fight scenes and blah, 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 blah. Wait until a couple of episodes and you Hunter x Hunter fans that haven't read the manga. I've turned into that person. Thanks, JD. That person that knows what's going to happen in every show he watches because he's starting to read the manga. It's like, oh, yeah, this show's like those stupid, annoying Game of Thrones fans who always like wait to hear what you have to say and are like, well, let me just tell you this. Being dead doesn't mean you're necessarily dead. Wink, wink. It's like,
well, in anime world, it's not.
God, shut up. Yeah, Hunter x Hunter. It's gonna be really, really good in a couple episodes. Just wait. Just you wait. But yeah, I do agree that episode where Netero fights the king is beyond epic. One Piece. I'm glad you said the thing you said last week because now I feel a little bit more interested in One Piece. Where the series is right now, Doflamingo is finally caught up to the Straw Hat crew off that island, I guess, where
well, they're on his island because he's.
Oh, that's actually his island.
Yeah, because they found out he. I'm just going to tell you. I'm going to let you know because I'm going to catch you up a little bit. I'm going to take some time to catch you up a little bit. So, because some shit's been going down. This arc has been crazy. Although you're missing a lot because One Piece is not like a lot of shonen where you can jump in, you can get the gist. You maybe get the gist of who the protagonists are, but this series has history. It sets up a world. It's got a lot of shit going on. It's got its own politics going on. It's got shit going on. But the best I can tell you, they tried to do this thing where they're trying to take down Doflamingo because he's a weapons dealer. He's developing some new weapon called Smile. It's like artificial devil fruits.
And that's Caesar the clown, right?
Caesar Clown's the guy that makes Smile for him. Yeah. And they kidnapped Caesar Clown because they were going to use him as leverage to take down Doflamingo's operation.
They defeated him, and they killed that girl with the feather on her arms. She sacrificed herself because she had the heart thing where she
was going to hit the button to self-destruct everything, but there was like a heart switcheroo because this one guy that's kind of helping him. Yes, well, Joker is Doflamingo.
Law.
Yeah, Law is this guy. He's one of the 7 warlords now since the time skip. He was introduced.
So this is before the time skip?
No, this is after.
Okay.
He's one of the 7 warlords now.
Okay. Stuff goes down and he becomes...
Yeah.
Okay.
But he was introduced way back when. But he's got, like, powers to, like, he can create, like, a space. And in that space, he can switch and rearrange parts of you, like a surgeon. They call him the Surgeon of Death.
He used to be with Doflamingo.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was Doflamingo did something that he felt was like a betrayal. Has something to do with someone named Corazon, because Doflamingo's like top guys, like the top people in his organization, are like themed after card suits, but the heart one is missing. And at one point, Doflamingo, currently in the manga, has Law captured, and he has him chained to the heart seat as an insult. So it might have something to do with whoever was the heart seat. And the fight with Doflamingo and Law was great because Doflamingo kicked the shit out of him. And this is great because you don't see like shonen villains do this. You think, oh, a shonen villain has defeated you. What's he going to do? He's going to hold you up, say something, hit you, knock you, whatever. No, he walks up to Law, pulls out a gun, and tells him like you're out of second chances, punk. And then just stands over and just shoots the shit out of him like a gangster. Mm-hmm. And now like the Straw Hats were trying to get to some of them were including Luffy, were trying to get to Doflamingo to save Law and take Doflamingo down. And the other ones were trying to take out his factory because he was using one of his people in his organization to turn people into toys. Because she can turn people, because he gets his Dressrosa, and it's like, oh, there are living toys walking with people. And then you find out because this person in Doflamingo's organization, this girl, Sugar, although she's like a grown adult, but her devil fruit caused her to stop aging, the hobby fruit, she touches you, turns you into a toy. And then when she turns you into a toy, she makes a contract, and you have to obey that contract. And her contract is you will work for us, you will do what we say, and you will obey Doflamingo. And when she turns you into a toy, everybody loses memory of you. Everybody forgets you existed. And so right now, like, they're trying to take out Doflamingo's operation, A, because he's doing all this shit to people and turning them into toys, and B, because his main buyer, the main person that buys weapons from him, is this guy Kaido, one of the four kings, one of the biggest pirates in the whole world. And Luffy wants to take these four kings down because he's got to be king of the pirates. And Kaido is supposedly, they're building him up like the most evil of the four.
And Kaido can whoop Doflamingo's ass.
Maybe. It's the power structure in One Piece is weird. Like, Luffy defeated Crocodile early on, and Crocodile is one of the strongest people in the series.
So anybody can get got.
Yeah, exactly. It ain't like Dragon Ball Z where if you're not strong enough, you punch a guy and they don't move. And you could be one of the most powerful people in the world and you still gotta watch your ass, which I like. But yeah, so they're basically trying to take Doflamingo down because if they take down his operation, Kaido's gonna get pissed and Kaido's gonna move against Doflamingo.
And that's why he said that he was no longer a warlord, because he wanted to trick Law, and he also didn't want Law to let Kaido know that he was messing up with the fruit, with the fake fruit. Yeah.
So what he did, and then it turned out that was a lie, that he didn't step down, because he's not only supposed to step down for his position as warlord, but he's king of Dressrosa.
Okay, that's what I think this episode is, where Law recognizes that it was all a lie. He pretty much, Doflamingo tells him it was a lie, and I guess his Doflamingo's people hit the Dressrosa people that, you know, he's really still he's still really a warlord, and they're just trying to trick people, and everyone's, because his people love him. Yeah, apparently.
Because Doflamingo, he's a master manipulation. You see that before. It's kind of a theme because he has string-based powers, so he's like a puppeteer. So he's really good at manipulating people. And like, the people think that he's a benevolent ruler. Everybody loves Doflamingo because he brought them prosperity and he brought riches to the country. And he brought riches because he's running an underground arms trade, and he's making millions selling like chemical weapons and nasty new devil fruit science shit to anyone with money. So, and if they bring down his operation, Kaido gets pissed because you don't know where these four emperors are. They've got massive organizations. They don't want to make themselves known because then the Navy will come after them. So they got to hide. So they're trying to like get Kaido out of hiding, because if he gets pissed and comes after Doflamingo, then he'll emerge pretty much, and then they'll be able to like, oh, there he is, we'll go get him.
Well, pretty much the series seems to be going into a better direction. When I first start watching it for the Crunchy Report that I'm doing, it seemed like it was kind of just all over the place. But now I think now that Doflamingo's there's a focal piece.
What I'm going to do for you, I'm going to, after this podcast is over, I'm going to look and see what manga chapter what you just saw was around, and I'll hook you up.
Okay, I appreciate that. I'll see it from there, because my thing is I never had an entry point. You know, there's just too big for me to sit there and like Berserk. I'll do that only because I don't know why I'll do it for Berserk and not One Piece, but
Berserk's not as long. One Piece, I think the current chapter is like 450 something.
I mean, it's not that far off. Like Berserk is like 300 something, right?
Yeah, but like what I gotta hand to Oda, that dude can get a lot done in a chapter. It actually kind of takes a little while to get through a One Piece chapter because that dude knows how. No, that dude is a master of pacing, which is what makes the anime more jarring. Because you're used to this smooth pace where you're always entertained, something's always happening, you're always good to go, bump, bump, bump. And then you watch the anime and it's like, it's just long spans and nothing. And it's like, I just get to this already, or get to that already, because there's like so much filler now.
I think there's like two schools of thought on filler. You have the filler where one whole episode was just flat out filler, and then you have the filler where you integrate the filler into an episode that's actually part of the main storyline. And I don't know which one I prefer. Which one do you guys prefer?
Well, it depends on how they do it. Like I'd prefer a mixture of both, leaning toward filler arcs, because you could skip a filler arc, and when they just extend it a little bit, sometimes they can even help a little bit, but sometimes if they extend it too much, they go overboard, and they take something that was like a simple little brawl, and they have to extend it with all these fucking fancy moves, and they're making up attacks. It's like, ugh. But what they used to do, like I said, because it changed around the Enies Lobby arc, They used to do like, it would be a bunch of episodes that were just adapting the manga, and then a little filler arc here and there. And then, like, say they got to a new location, they would add some filler episodes of the Straw Hats exploring this new location and, like, getting in shenanigans with the locals or whatever. Mm-hmm. But that would cause a little bit of space, and then they could get into the main meat of the arc. And after the arc was over, they would have a little bit of little filler arc as a little space thing, and then jump right into the new location, new arc, a little filler when they first get there, and then the main meat of the story. It was a nice little sequence that they had, that if you didn't want to watch the filler, you could skip, it moved at a nice pace. They had a good thing going.
How far away are they from where the current chapter is in the manga, from where the anime?
If they just found out Doflamingo lied,
yeah,
then they're actually a good ways away. Because it looks the manga is currently, I don't know if the Dressrosa arc is coming to an end, because the stakes and the sort of and you'll understand when you catch up, what seems to be going on in this arc has totally changed. Like Doflamingo just did something that was like I said, I love villains, so when a villain does something like fucking despicable or evil or whatever, I'm just like, I geek out. Like, oh, that you son of a bitch! So he just did something, and I was like, oh my god, I love this guy! So, but...
If you had to put it into numbers...
the only dude, like I said, this is like the best villain One Piece has had since Crocodile. But... it's a good ways away. Like, a lot of shit's happening. I almost spoiled it until you mentioned that the anime just did this. A lot of shit's happened. So, I'd say it's... I don't know the exact amount of chapters, but it's a good amount.
More than 50 chapters?
Might be around 50, maybe 60.
Okay.
I think. Again, it's hard to tell because, again, the pacing is so smooth. I don't even think of them chapters.
How quickly does he turn out a new chapter?
Once a week.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, let me know when it starts, because I'll definitely try to get caught up, because I do sort of like to know what's coming, just so I can see how the anime adapts.
Yeah.
I know, like, going back to Hunter x Hunter, it's a rare treat when the anime is better than the manga, and especially because this adaptation of Hunter x Hunter is specifically to be faithful to the manga. It's like a Kai or a Brotherhood.
Yeah.
So it's like 100%, no filler.
I'd recommend, like, catch up on the manga, get out the new stuff, become a fan like you're gonna, and maybe go back in the beginning, because it's a lot, but
maybe just read some of the cool arcs.
Yeah, because like I said, One Piece. This is one of the things that sets it apart from a lot of shonen. It establishes its world, and there are things going on, even little touches. Like, there's a guy that appears in a flashback in like an early arc. I think it was when the Buggy the Clown arc, way back when Buggy was introduced. Love Buggy. And like this dude that you just think is innocuous, but you remember him, he's got a goatee that's like 4 lines. But everything else about him just seems innocuous, so you forget about him. Like, I think it was 5 real world years later This guy comes back, and it turns out he's a big fucking deal.
I think Oda has like a bingo book of all of his characters.
Oh yes, we do. I think he said once what he does. He's got like all the tankobons in his office, and he has sticky notes on each volume. Like this is an important thing that happened in this volume to remember, so I can reference it back and bring back to it. And like he establishes early on like the system his world works by, the politics, because there's like 3 world powers that are canceling each other out, and who's the strongest. But like even if somebody's the strongest, a weaker guy can cancel him out. Like there's Mihawk, he's the strongest swordsman in the world. So like he's so powerful of a swordsman, without even being anywhere near it, he cuts a giant frozen tsunami. It's like the size of a mountain, like in half.
He has his own Pokemon system of canceling powers.
He's like, and then like, but then he fights Buggy the Clown. He's got the power to break into pieces. And this guy, again, strongest swordsman in the world, 1 hit kills everyone he ever meets. And he runs into Buggy the Clown, and he can't hurt him, because Buggy's power is to break into pieces.
And I guess that's a cool thing, because you're misled into thinking people aren't as powerful as they are. But then later on you realize, like, you have to actually be a fan of the show to realize how powerful people are. How powerful they are.
It's smart. That's all I like. It's smart, because you never know. Like, someone might have, like, between people like being immensely powerful with innocuous powers, like Kuma having the power to just push things, and he's one of the most powerful people in the world with that power because the levels he takes it. But then like you'll have somebody like, oh, this guy was weak, but this specific way his power works just happens to defend against this guy that was so powerful. Like there's a dude, Magellan, who has poison powers. He just like seeps like every kind of poison known to man, and he wrecks Luffy. Like Luffy can't even touch him. I don't think Luffy never even beats him. He just can't. Luffy can't fight him. He just wrecks him. But then there's this other guy from an earlier arc, and he's just got power. He just makes this like wax stuff, and it's just wax. But the wax can block Magellan's poison, so this weak guy can actually fight this guy that was so powerful that the main character can't fight him, just because of the way the powers work against each other.
Yeah, I'm One Piece. I'm gonna be getting into that.
Yeah,
Fairy Tail. If you're watching Fairy Tail, you're listening to this right now. I surely hope that things start to pick up, because all these other shows I'm watching, Fairy Tail, is sort of the red shirt of the crew, and it's hard to really say, hey, I'm super excited to see this week's episode with Fairy Tail.
Don't you want to see the newest shower scene?
I want to see what's going on with Lucy. No, it's not like that. But on its own, I enjoy Fairy Tail, but set against Hunter x Hunter, One Piece, I'm maybe gonna say it, Jojo. It's not.
Google gobble.
I want to see. I definitely want to see how this. Skipping to Jojo, I want to see how this third series progresses, because I trust. I've come to trust your judgment, Cody, and if you say something is really, really good, I just probably haven't seen why it's really, really good. But Fairy Tail, and I'm working on a store after holding off on it for a while. I know, Cody, you've suggested it, trying to get some merchandise for Anime 3000 going. So we're gonna start off slowly with just the logo, and then kind of go from there. Maybe get something going for the other side for you TOS fans, something manga related and 2GAM related. But for now, just get it up and running. So hopefully by the time you're listening to this, I've been able to figure out exactly what I want to do, and then you can check that out and you can support us. And that's it for me. I've taken up the whole segment, so now we're going into a promo break.
Oh no!
I'm kidding.
We don't get to do. You selfish bastard.
JD, what have you been up to?
Me, I started reading a UQ Holder by Ken Akamatsu, and it's okay shonen. It's okay. It's so typical. It's just like, I really don't want to continue this, so maybe I probably won't continue reading it. But I also watched Halo Legends. I finally watched it after like 4 years. Do you guys know what Halo Legends is?
Did they have lots of teabagging? in Halo Legends?
No, but
That made it interesting.
But it sucks, so I wish it did. Because it had like 7 stories by like 5 or 6 different animation studios, and it just only 3 of the stories were like, the first one was really awesome. The second one was okay, but it had shitty animation, and then I think one of them was by the same person who did Dragon Ball Z, was pretty funny.
The Halo tricks.
Yeah, it just sucked though. The stories are so like convoluted, or they had too many flashbacks in it. And you're just like, God, like this is Halo. This is shoot 'em up basically in aliens, you know. And then you have all this like background stories that I really don't give a shit about. You know, I actually read the Halo books, so I know what's supposed to happen, but just some of it is like, God, this does not work in the anime. Like, they just didn't do it right, you know? So I was just like really disappointed by Halo Legends. And I was so excited about it too. I was like, oh, right, a Halo version of Animatrix, basically. But it is very far from that. So, but then the other one was, the other thing I've been doing is actually I decided to try to get back into doing manga stuff again, because I've kind of taken a hiatus off of it because I've been so busy at school and stuff. So I tried to do the Manga University course, but it's actually for beginners. I didn't know that. And then so I sent in my picture to be evaluated, and they sent it back to me, or not, they sent me back my money saying, oh, this is for beginners and you're obviously advanced, but we're really looking forward to see what else you guys you have, you know. So I was like, oh, okay, wow, that's very good customer service right there.
You're like, well, that's the first time I got a refund that I wasn't. Actually, you got a refund and you got complimented, so that's good.
Yeah, I did.
It could be worse. They could have sent your picture back and have drawn on it and said, "LOL, no loser."
And then, well, they're like, yeah, we showed it to some people in the office, and they're really impressed with this and stuff. I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of random, and here's your refund. I'm like, wow, that just happened in like overnight. Like,
where are they based out of?
Japan. They have a manga artist out of Japan.
Okay.
Yeah, the biggest selling point is if you don't know how to draw, if you've never taken a high school art class, if you don't really have time to go to a regular art class at a university or a community center, then this would be a pretty good program for you. But for me, I have a degree in fine arts, so I don't really need this course. I just wanted to see if they had just wanted to experience it, because I always wanted to experience it. And the biggest selling point is that you send in a drawing, and then a professional manga artist actually redoes the drawing, and it's the same picture, like your character, but they do it their style, and it's really great. But I was just like, you know what, this is not.
Is that something only you can do if you live in Japan?
No. It's actually for people that aren't in Japan, actually.
So give us some more details, just in case somebody's interested in listening to this right now and they want to, like, how much does it cost? Where do they go? What does the process look like?
Okay, so they have, if you go to mangauniversity.com, they have, it's called a self-study course. And basically, there's 2 different kinds of courses you can take. There's one where they're both self-study, so you have to do it on your own pace, and they're around 6 weeks. And basically, they send you like a bunch of PDFs and some if you get the more advanced one, not advanced one, I should say, the more expensive one, I should say, which is around $49, then they send you a lot of stuff, supplies and whatnot. But if you get the basic one, which is what I got, which is around $39, it's you get the PDFs and that's pretty much it, kind of. And so, but both of them, you can, when they give you like each PDF has a lesson about how to draw in general, like. This is you use circles for how many, like 7 circles for the height of a doll or something like that, or backgrounds, or how manga artists actually make the process of making manga, actually. Like they do like outlines and sketches and stuff like that. So if you don't ever have any experiences like that, or you want to try to do it, then that's good for you. You have to be self-motivated though, 1. And then 2, at the end of the course, you send in your own character drawing, and then they send it back to you with the revisions from a professional manga artist. And then that's kind of it. You get a certificate after that. But it's pretty basic. I would say that if you are really a beginner, this is probably a decent course, but I also think that it's probably, if you don't have any money also, I think it's better just to go off of, I actually have a blog post about alternatives to taking manga courses like this one. You know, you can do like a free YouTube course.
I hope you're not advocating those how to draw manga books, those Chris Hart books.
Oh, actually, the people who do how to draw is actually through this manga university course. So
well, that's a bad sign, because Chris Hart, those books are not only like teach you all the wrong things and are very bad, but then Chris Hart, the guy that makes those books, may or may not be out of his mind. Like literally, like something might be going on upstairs with that dude. I don't know if y'all heard this. This will be quick. There's a guy that was going to do some work with him, like another artist, and he sends him an email. And this is like documenting. Like this guy put this up online. If anyone wants to go look, you can look. That like he kind of like, oh, here's my info. You want to do this project? Like, okay, well we'll get back. We'll do this thing. And they're going back and forth. And then he gets another email from Chris Hart. It's like, this is like, what are you doing emailing me? This is my work line. This isn't for you to show me your DeviantArt stuff or whatever. And it's like, we were just you. No. Chris Hart came to him. That's right. Because then it's like, no, dude, you came to me. You asked me if we wanted to do this. Look, here's your email that you sent me. And then she just got an email of Chris Hart saying, don't contact me again.
Oh my God.
Is it the most surreal thing? Like,
you know what?
Is this dude like, has he got Alzheimer's? That's
you know what?
Creepy.
I do remember before, like years ago, when we were doing written reviews, and maybe Sean, you remember this. We had Chris Hart's How to Draw books or whatever, and I had to review them. And of course, I didn't really like them because at the time I was already going through my like I said, fine arts courses and stuff in university. So I'm looking at them and I'm like, you know what? These are kind of not that great for the price that they're putting on there. So I believe, though, if you really want to be a good artist, besides just going out there and just drawing, and if you want a basis, I look at art books, regular art books, you know, how to draw hands, how to draw feet. Those are the hardest things to draw, you know. And then also just going to a community center, usually they have them for free or for like $10 or something. But usually it's just going out there and just drawing. And
you got to learn the fundamentals. Everybody out there, like, you want to draw manga, first of all, you're going to draw comics. Stop saying that. But if you want to draw comics, you got to learn the fundamentals. Forget the big eyes, forget the pointy nose, forget the action poses. You got to learn hands. You got to learn the body. Go look at some medical textbooks. Learn human musculature. Learn sizes. Learn head shape ratio to shoulders to build, and the differences in men and women. There's a lot of really slight ones you might not be aware of. Learn the fundamentals before you do anything else. I don't care if you really want to make that shonen series today. Go learn the fundamentals. I cannot stress that enough. Because if you find out, if you ever want to see what happens if you don't learn the fundamentals, just look at half the webcomics out there. Go look at like shit like Dominic Deegan. If you want to look at what happens when someone decides to start doing a comic without the fundamentals. Learn the fundamentals.
Yeah, I think it's really important. I also, like you said, I think looking at medical books is also great. I actually, because I have a double major, so I actually did take anatomy classes and I taught anatomy. So I actually knew the body before and during I did fine arts. So it actually helps a lot to know muscles, how they move, where they come, you know, what happens when they do this or that, because it looks more realistic, it looks great. And, you know, it's harder to mess up when you're drawing like a figure in real life, you know. I don't know.
Is Chucky? What is
no?
Their kids getting lapped out of the house again.
No, this is my apartment complex in Japan. The walls are paper thin, and there's these kids that just run rampant outside. It's just, if you're a big fan of privacy and you just really hate when your privacy is just even remotely like violated like that, especially with sound pollution, then don't come to Japan. Really,
Note to self. Hold off on crazy loud sex in Japan.
I didn't say anything about that. I just say that if you're one that gets really irked by like that kind of sounds all the time, like through the walls, then
couldn't you tell them like that the loud noise is shaming their family? Would that help?
No, they don't give a shit. People don't. Okay, people don't get in other people's business here. Half the time. I don't know my neighbors at all. The only thing that I've ever said to them was good morning or good night, and that was only in passing. Other than that, we don't talk to each other. No one talks to each other, so they leave you alone, basically.
So Japan is one giant anime convention, is what you're telling me.
And what's so funny? Anime conventions here are so different from the American ones, so I don't know.
Do people actually converse and try to make friends and socialize?
Okay. I'm gonna give you a little bit of Japanese culture here. Okay, people are really shy and scared of each other here.
So it's like an anime convention without the extroverts.
Yeah. And
I'm all depressed. I'm starting to feel like the only guy that's into this stuff that wants to talk to people. What the fuck?
No. Okay, this is what they do. They make the Japanese people make memories. You hear this a lot in anime, especially in high school anime ones, making memories. And that's exactly what they're doing because it's like kind of an icebreaker. So they have all these stupid welcome parties, farewell parties, end of the year parties, drinking parties. And you might think in American terms, party like, woo, dancing, clubbing, that kind of stuff. No. It's boring drink, the same kind of alcohol. I don't really like alcohol, so I really don't give a shit about alcohol. But it's the same kind of alcohol, the same shit that people are going to ask you. Like, oh, you're good with chopsticks, like the 200th time. And you're just like, God, just finish your speech and let's just go home because this is just a waste of money and time. Like,
oh my God, I cannot live in that country.
Their parties are organized.
Yeah, they're organized. They're so organized. I just fucking hate them sometimes. I know I'm ranting right now, but I just...
That's okay. That's what this podcast is for, Judy. You can rant about
this is the reality of Japanese culture, is that they're so shy that they have to make these events so that people can talk to each other and build bonds somehow. So
that is fucked
up. It's like Japanese culture is not an anime series. That's what
No.
most people think it is.
No, okay, I'm gonna take that back. The ones that are like truly like Japanese culture are the ones where they have, it's more shoujo, I guess. It has like the shy girl or the shy boy, and then they're like everyone kind of misunderstands them, and then they're like, oh, we didn't know anything about you, and then they slowly make friends, like Kimi ni Todoke, like that kind of.
So you're pretty much saying
more like that.
Japan is less like your favorite anime and more like Aku no Hana.
Oh God!
For me, some days, yes, it's true. It's not like you're gonna see you are gonna see girls in uniforms, but most people have uniforms here. But
strange rotoscoping and everything.
But you get used to it, actually. But you don't have like robots everywhere, and you don't have like samurai or ninja. Like,
well, then what good are you?
Anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, what good is Japan if it's not like your favorite aspect of Japan? You don't have Yakuza all over the place. You don't have these hoodlums.
Wait. I'm gonna tell you something. There are Yakuza, but you don't know that they are Yakuza until someone points them out or they have tattoos. One or two.
I will never go to this country. I couldn't survive. I'm like, well, somebody fucking talk to me.
The thing that I do like about Japan is the people are really cool, though. I mean, they're shy, but when you let's say you have donuts or something and you give them a donut, they act like little kids. They're just like, oh my God, thank you so much. It's just like, it's so heartwarming to see their reactions. So I
make it sound like they're like Iraq and stuff, Iraq, and you're like giving them a piece of chocolate and they're like, yeah, and they're chasing your car.
No, well, maybe the kids will if you have candy. They do that on Halloween. They chase me around in my costume, and I'm just like, I don't know who you are, even though I've taught you for like 3 years. But I'm just like, I'm gonna run away, and you just hear them saying, "JD." Yeah, it's. I mean, just because I'm a foreigner, the reaction is different. That's why, because they're very collectivistic. So when you as a foreigner come in and you're just like, oh, here, it's some cake or something for everyone, just because, they're just like, oh my God, thank you. There's cake here, by the way. They call everybody over.
So when I go to Japan, I should bring a bag full of goodies.
Oh, you're supposed to.
Oh, wow.
Now you're telling me I gotta bring presents? No, I'm never going.
They have customs. They have customs. You go there and they check your bag.
That is the custom.
You go through their bag. They go through the check. They say, "Do you have anything to declare?" It's like, "No, you don't have any snacks. Get back in the plane."
Come back and you got some Snickers.
But yeah, I mean, they sell it here.
Not that fun size either.
But it's called, if you're coming to Japan and you're going to like an office or visiting somebody or whatever, the custom is to bring something. It's called omiyage or souvenirs. And it comes from the Edo period, actually, where people like Shogun and whatnot used to go to the main capital. And when they had to enter, they had to give a gift to the shogun and everybody. So it's kind of come from that Edo period. But
is watermelon a thing? I heard like fruit. Giving fruit is like you're supposed to give like some fruit.
Sean, that's racist.
Well, actually, fruit is really expensive in Japan. Fruit and vegetables are really expensive. But it's funny because they eat a lot of fruits and vegetables more than Americans do in a daily diet. So
this gets me. Maybe you can explain this while we're having Japan talk. What is Japan's fascination with the goddamn watermelon? Because I've seen so many anime where they're like, "Oh, watermelon, we're eating some watermelon." I was like, there are things I want to point out that I feel like if I point out, I'm going to have to make apology statements.
Well, okay, watermelon is pretty expensive here. Like for a little small, like girls basketball size watermelon is over like $30 or $30, around $30. So that in the States it's only like 5 or 10, but. And also, in the States, you have like Bubblicious and you have all these gums and candies and water that are watermelon flavored and stuff like that. Americans love watermelon flavored stuff, In Japan, not so much. There's only one kind that I found that's watermelon, and that's the ice cream that looks like a watermelon, but even the seeds are chocolate. So it's pretty neat.
God bless America. Let me just say how you're making me feel right now.
so it's kind of like... Yeah, so watermelon isn't a very popular flavor here, to be honest. There is something, though, during the summertime. They call it suikawari, which is literally, I guess, watermelon circle or something like that. Basically, it's kind of like piñata, except they put the watermelon on top of a tarp, and they put it in the center. And then they give, blindfolded one person, they give them a bat or something, spin them around a couple times, and then they have to hit
sound like it's going to end well.
So they basically...
No, it's really fun. It's really fun, actually.
They basically reenact a Gallagher show, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, but it's really fun, though, actually. And you do that, and then when you break it, then everyone... Huh?
Surejomatic.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, after you break it, like, everyone cuts up the watermelon and eats it, so...
Oh, I just imagine it going all over the place. Like...
No, I mean, it depends on who's hitting it. If it's a baseball player, maybe, but... Me, I just broke it open like any, like a piñata. So yeah, that's the closest thing to a watermelon that I've done, like as in, something to do with the watermelon, like piñata. Yeah, so I hope that answered your question, Cody.
You keep showing up in anime. I'm like, is there something up over there? Is like watermelon the national fruit? So why is it appearing so much?
No, it's usually the summer anime and manga, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm thinking it might be during like summer festivals, and you hear what are those little cricket things?
Oh, the cicadas.
Cicadas and.
Mm-hmm. I could tell where you live because you don't have to deal with those fucking locusts. Every several. Oh, of course you do because you're in Japan. But every several years, around where I live, they come back.
And they're hella loud, aren't they?
Oh, the noise,
they look freakish too. They look so freakish with the like
giant.
Yeah, they have gigantic ones. They're like as big as almost as big as like my mouth. Like.
And then like I remember I used to go to not film school, but it was like a technical film school. It was like it wasn't teaching you to act; it was teaching you the technical like video editing and camera work and all that stuff. And I used to have to take like a 20-minute drive, and through that drive I'd go in a heavily forested area, and it was cicada season around the time where I was going, and part of that drive, I would go over this bridge. There was a cloud of cicadas that I would have to drive through. Like you could see them, and they had their own traffic system. Like there was a cloud going this way and a cloud going this way, and I drove right through that, and you could hear them against my car. It was like taps. It was like
You know what's interesting now that you bring this up? It's like, depending where you live, you might take things for granted, but it might not geographically, but just the way things you experience might be unique to you, and you don't realize that. Like, maybe this is across the board, but like, how many of you experience like a lot of animals and nature, like in your surroundings, like wherever you go? Like, do you have like ducks and squirrels and lizards and all those things, like just like outside your doors?
Lizards inside my door.
I have fucking deer. I will say this right now. If you think deer are beautiful and majestic, you don't live with deer.
Yeah,
or you don't watch YouTube.
I've seen like one deer in Florida, like along the turnpike as I'm going north. But we don't have anything down here like that. Mostly what we have are ducks everywhere, like in my driveway, everywhere. We have lots of squirrels. Like, you see squirrels like you see birds. They're just like constantly crossing your path. And lizards, iguanas, things of all that nature, just crossing the road. And that's about it.
But you know what? Here, there's they have these little white, almost like really white, almost they look like the color of glow in the dark, like things, like that weird whitish greenish look, and they're the tiny little lizards. They're probably like 3 or 4 inches long, and they always come in the house somehow. I don't know how they kind of get into the apartment, but in Okinawa, where I live, they say that they're kind of like considered guardians, so you shouldn't kill it or you get bad luck. So I'm always like, just go away. And sometimes like in my cups, they'll like just fly out of my cups. I'm just like, oh my god, like where'd they come from? Like, so I can't kill it because I don't want bad luck. You know, you never know.
You could take control of your life and make your own luck, kill it, and then face the day. To hell with you, superstition. I am my own woman.
But then at the same time, I have a cat, so I think she kind of chases them away or eats them. I don't know what she does with them, but like, yeah, there have been fewer since we got a cat, so I'm like, whew. But yes, once in a while I'll like pick up something that I haven't cleaned in a while, and there'll be a dead lizard, and I'm like, oh no, you know, I killed the guardian.
She drops it in your food when you walk away. You're like, yeah, let me get some of this lizard. And you're like, this smells good. What did you put in it, honey? What's this eyeball here? All right, so
Cody, you're last.
Cody.
Well, we've been talking a lot, but luckily my what you bins are always short. Well, of course, Jojo every week. We got to poll the ref. I remembered why he's so great.
I have some news for you for Jojo.
We'll go get to that, but first I gotta get this shit out of the way. And of course, you know, my usual weekly Bleach in One Piece, and then I just saw the first episode.
And clarify when you say that. Well, obviously, Bleach would be manga, but yes. You're talking strictly manga because for years I thought you were talking anime.
No, I like I said, One Piece anime after around the Enies Lobby arc starts to drag, and it stops. Like it had, and I was talking about this before we even started recording. It had a good rhythm at first. Like you'd have the Straw Hats would go to a new island, and they'd adapt the chapters like when they get there and arriving at the island and establishing the rules of this new territory. And then they'd add some filler arcs of the Straw Hats dicking around with the locals and drinking around the island and all that stuff. And then they would get to the meat of the story. And then after the story arc would end, they'd add a little filler between islands and then rinse and repeat. It was a nice system, so you could get a good chunk of manga material with a little bit of filler, and if you didn't like the filler, you could skip. Even had one filler arc out of nowhere. It was like amazing. Like it was as good as the manga. Like everybody knows what I'm talking about. Any One Piece fan, the G8 arc right after Skypiea, just all of a sudden here's an amazing filler arc. Like, where the hell were these? You made this. It's really good. You have no excuse for Rainbow Mist and Warship Island, and any One Piece fan knows what I'm talking about. But like, and then like they just around Enies Lobby, they just start stretching shit. They'll take like one chapter and stretch it for like a whole half hour. It's like, this sucks. I can't and then the animation gets cheaper, but then like for one episode it'll get amazing because like it'll be like for this really important fight scene, but then the animation goes back to shit. It just takes so long, and it's like, fuck it, I'm done. Like I said before, I'll just check in like, oh, I wonder how the fight with Doflamingo and Smoker looks in the anime. Okay, done. But other than that, it's like, nope. But I also saw Attack on Titan on Toonami. Finally actually watching that shit. Aside from one thing, it's been as good as advertised, and that one thing is the fucking protagonist. I hate this kid.
Aaron?
Yeah, I hate Aaron.
Oh, man.
I
don't like him that much.
Yeah, there's really not any redeemable qualities to him. He's like, and I think it's purposeful because he's like every shonen protagonist without an off switch.
Yeah, that drives me crazy. Like, every scene, his eyes are big, and he's taking a stand against everything. Don't you want to do this? How can you do this? Don't say that. What are you doing? I just imagine this kid in his daily life, like his mom will make him breakfast, like, eggs? Eggs! Thank you for the eggs, Mother! I'm gonna eat these eggs now!
I'm gonna be the greatest egg eater of all time!
When he goes to school, teacher! I know the answer to the question! Jittering eyes are freaking out the class. Here's some Valium, calm down. But I know the answer.
He's that kid in school that annoys you, but you just think he's a little off, and if you hurt his feelings, he's gonna come and stab you like out of nowhere.
Like you get the feeling if you say anything to this kid, it's gonna turn into a thing.
Yeah, he's like he's so intense that you don't want to engage him because he's going to be intense all over you, and you just don't want to deal with that ickiness.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, like, everything else was great. I was like, okay, I'm liking where this is going. I'm on board. You got me, Attack on Titan. So far, good as advertised. I just hope that kid gets eaten, but he's the protagonist. I know he's not gonna.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, what's next?
Other than that...
You're in for a great twist.
Well, now, I know people turn into things, and he's probably going to turn into...
All right, let's get off Attack on Titan because that's one of the great things about the show.
Yeah,
I don't want to... I know you know things about it, but it's kind of... Like, we kind of mentioned manga and anime. It's one of those series that it's good if you don't know everything. Knowing what's going to happen... I'm glad I didn't know what was going to happen leading into the anime because the anime is so beautiful in the way that it's drawn. It's animated, the colors and the shading and all that stuff, that it's good to see that in its first. I'm actually envious of you because I wish I could watch the dub version of it for the first time like I did with Full Metal Alchemist. You know, it just has that certain feel that a subbed anime doesn't have, especially if it's executed the correct way. And I have a feeling, you know, Funimation has so many years to perfect what they do.
Funimation is the best, and so far the dub's been fantastic.
Nice.
So I'm not going to get any more. I mean, I don't know everything. What I do, I will look up a little bit of spoilers to see, only so much to see, should I invest? Like, should I go forward? What is there to look forward to? That's kind of how I got into JoJo, I was like, what else is down the pike? Oh, holy shit, it's got like part 3 ends in like one of the greatest shonen fights of all time. Well, now I want to check out part 3. Oh, part 4's got like this serial killer and all this crazy stuff happens. Well, now I'm going to check out part 4. I don't want to know anymore. I want to like, tell me what happens about halfway in and be vague about it. That kind of thing. Or just give me a little vague thing so I know what's coming down the pike. Because I've been burned with series like Darker Than Black. I knew nothing about Darker Than Black. And I was all on board with Darker Than Black at first. Like, wow, this is actually pretty cool. I like this. This opening is fucking boss. And I like these. I like what it's doing. I like the concept. I like everything. And then, like, about halfway through the first season, and I know it was like the episode, the opening changed. That's when Darker Than Black started to sound. I was like, oh my, what? Okay, why is that girl, like, is that C2? I think Code Geass is going to sue somebody. Oh, she's the main villain? This little ragtag group of middle schoolers are the main villain? What? And now it's doing that? What? And then finally, like, season 2, like, the Yoko Kanno soundtrack is gone, and it really drags, and then it goes in a really ham-fisted anti-American message, and it's like, okay, you know what? No. Next time I'm going to do a little research before I waste my time. But at least it got me a cool Aberdeen Boys School song for my iPod, but that's about all the good stuff. So now, like, I got a system now, so I don't waste my time anymore. But, aside from that, the only other thing, folks may or may not know, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle came out in America. I've been playing that. Loving it. The only issue, and I'm not even going to bring it up because I know I'm going to bring it up with a later news item we're going to talk about. Not a news item, like something we're going to talk about later. I'm going to have a chance to bring it up, so I'm going to bring it up then. But I've been playing the shit out of that game. I love the shit out of that game. Anyone wants to challenge me, I'll take on all takers. PSN named Lord Schmecky, bring it. And working on Cloud Scratcher, about to set up a setting up some t-shirt designs, like I said before, and a Patreon account, which I'll get into in the little end plug dealy. And that's what you've been, Cody edition.
And that's what you've been doing. And I guess if we're all finished with what you've been doing, coming up next, we will be going into our discussion where we're going to be talking about some poll questions that we put out. Some poll dances. No.
Some money.
Do what you want me to do. We'll be right back. Anime3000.com is coming to a convention near you. We want to hear from anime and manga fans and showcase comic book creators, voice actors, and other talented individuals in future episodes of A3K TV. As a feature subscriber, you will also be eligible for weekly giveaways from our sponsors. Be sure to check out Anime3000.com every day for brand new audio and video podcasts. Anime3000.com, the future of anime and manga. And we're back, and we're going to be going into our discussion where we're going to talk about two questions that we put out there on our Twitter. And if you're not following us on Twitter, it's at Anime3000. And it is awesome. Let me tell you, people, if you like Twitter and you like anime and you like Anime3000, check us out. We're awesome. Our first question is, with Attack on Titan premiering at Cartoon Network tonight, what should be the next anime series to air on Toonami?
I couldn't help but notice that the answers that the people sent have a recurring theme. There seems to be one that pops up a lot.
Yeah, robotic notes. What's up with that? So before we go into the answers that people put out there, and just a little note, Toonami is back, just in case you didn't realize it. If you're like a lot of people who pull the plug and you're just like, oh, I'm not going to do a cable anymore because I'm a hipster. Toonami they've been doing a pretty good job. I mean, it seems like every 3 months a new series is premiering. Like we've had, let's go down the line. What have they come out with that a lot of people were shocked? They had Black Lagoon is the latest outside of Attack on Titan.
They've now aired at one point or another the 3 greatest anime of all time.
Blue Exorcist, Soul Eater. They play Soul Eater, right?
Yeah.
But I know that's
it's
not what
on
you're
now.
Bye
bye. Na na na.
So what were the 3 that you were referring to?
Bebop, Standalone Complex, Black Lagoon.
Now, have they played Standalone Complex with in this new?
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they've played both seasons. Actually, when they first started airing it, they started with season 2, which was weird. But that was great because season 2 was the one that made Standalone Complex like one of the greatest. Like season 1 is great, but then season 2 was like, okay, now it's Bebop tier.
I have a feeling that they actually hired someone who likes anime to do the programming for this.
They really did.
Thank
I loved it. What I loved, it was back to back. It was Standalone Complex, then Bebop. And what came on before Standalone Complex? Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Even though it was reruns, I was just basking in like an hour and a half of pure quality blasting in my face like a cum shot. It's like, oh my Brotherhood. What's after Brotherhood? Standalone Complex Season 2. Oh my god, I can possibly top this. Bebop, you're closing you close the fucking thing with Bebop. And then I pass out, and then I wake up and it's the next day. That helps me go to sleep.
So with that lead in, what would make you like go off the moon if they were to announce? And I want to preface this with something that's you think realistically would air on Toonami. You know, you have what you want and then what you kind of feel would fit for their demographic. Cody.
Me first? Okay. I might as well. I got all excited. This is actually hard because, see, all the stuff that I would like just throw out just like as a selfish request, they did. And like some of the other stuff that are a little less selfish that I'd like to see succeed, they did. So it's like, well, okay, well, you guys are on it. I'll forgive you for Fooly Cooly and some of those other stuff. Okay. but like you're so on. I don't know what to suggest. I can think of one, but they'd have to like go digging. Like it's not exactly new, but it would fit. It needs more people to watch it, and it is one of the best shows out there. It's not like Bebop tier, but it's in the upper echelon. Gungrave or Heat Guy J. Those two ones.
I love Gungrave. Oh my gosh! You know what? I actually bought the bag after I watched the anime. I went on eBay and bought the bag for it, and I was just like, I love this series. Like this anime is so awesome. Yeah, Gungrave. I was so good with that.
That was how much does that blow your mind? They took like a really dumb action shoot 'em up video game, and what do they do with the anime adaptation? They make like this deep character study and like a low key mafia story, and they're like all super mature about it, and it's like, what fucking game? But and then like Heat Guy J would be another good one. Desert Punk might be a good lead in for that regular Adult Swim crowd, with the titty jokes and all that stuff, because it is actually lowbrow as it is, it's still pretty funny and it's got some good action. So that wouldn't be a lead in because they got that's that new show swagger, that Attack on Titan, Space Dandy, that premiere shit. Old show ain't gonna get that time slot, but might be good. But those are just some like, hey, that'd be cool if you guys did it. I can't think of, there's no show that's like, oh my god, Toonami, air this now, because they did it. They got all those shows. Like, I would think, oh, One Piece, that'd be great. That needs some more love in American shores after 4Kids botched it. Nope, they got One Piece. Well, what about the top 3? They got all 3.
One Piece is on there?
Yeah. It's actually on right now as we speak.
Is Shippuden on there?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Actually,
Shippuden just finished, and now One Piece is on TV right now. I'm looking.
Crap. What? Shippuden finished? Wow, okay.
It's not just finished overall. Like the episode just finished airing.
Okay. Wait, what?
Right now, it starts out as like Attack on Titan and Bleach, which we can forgive them. Space Dandy, and then Shippuden, and right now One Piece. I forget what's on next. They played Big O for a while.
Oh, Big O! I remember that. That was kind of cool.
I remember Tomatoes.
Yeah, Big O. I love Big O, but it pisses me off that it's unfinished because like it was like anime Lost, like all these fucking mysteries and shit. What's going on? And is the world itself like
Didn't they get a little pretentious towards the end?
Really?
It got like Batman though.
It didn't get pretentious, but it did get surreal. But there were still things you could get, but like at the end it started because what they were trying to do a lead into a third season. They're going to reveal the shit, so they were trying to make like the biggest mysteries all at once. So that third season come around, and then I guess the third season was supposed to be the final one, and then like no, you don't get a third season. It's too expensive to make the show. Fuck you! Like fuck you! Fucking. This is why William Street can't be trusted. But like it was for the run that it had though, it was pretty great. Like I said, it's hard to watch again. As great as it is, just knowing that we're never going to get the answers to these questions. And it's like, ugh.
Maybe that's the next big surprise.
Oh my god! If I'm gonna say this, as much as I insult like the current anime climate or whatever, if like I check the next season and then it's like Big O season 3, and then hey Spice and Wolf season 3, and while we're at it, more Tiger and Bunny, another season of Tiger and Bunny.
That would be good.
I'd be sitting there like, okay, you know what? I take back everything I said.
Tiger and Bunny, I think, would do really well on Cartoon Network.
Yeah, I just hit me as I just made that little hypothetical. Yeah, Tiger and Bunny would be great. Play some Tiger. You know what? Though
and that's not too far off because they're playing it on Neo Toonami. Hello, what's that? On Neon Alley.
Yeah, that's possible. Now that I think about it, that's actually kind of likely. I wouldn't be surprised if they announce Tiger and Bunny in the future. Like, it'll probably be a little ways off, but...
If Funimation takes their strangle... Well, not even, because Viz has a lot of shows on there as well. Viz, hello, what's going on, people?
Yeah, so...
I gotta give them a call.
Get your connections in Viz.
Yeah, Jojo dropped that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know a guy who knows a guy.
I know the vice president, no big deal.
Actually, yeah, Tiger and Bunny would probably be perfect. Yeah, do that. Toonami, get on that. I know you're totally listening. Get on
I think with that being said, we're kind of like naming a whole bunch of things, and poor JD's like, well, you kind of said 5 of the things I was going to say already. Might as well forget about me. JD.
Well, I'm kind of with Cody on this, and like there is a lot of good stuff that people already put on there on the poll. But maybe for the demographic of Toonami, maybe like Devil May Cry or Claymore or something like that.
Ooh, yeah. Devil May Cry had a surprisingly good anime. That was a I was like, and that,
I
it
watched
was,
the whole series.
It wasn't amazing.
And,
like to put it in perspective, I've never played the games, and I watched the anime, and I enjoyed it. I thought it had some clever episodes.
What did you like about Devil May Cry, JD?
Well, okay. First, I reviewed the anime series like 6 years ago, I guess, when Funimation gave it to us, and then I loved it. But then I went back and watched it again this year, and I was just kind of like, not as good as I remembered it, but it's still pretty good. I like the action in it. The actions are awesome, and then Dante is so awesome. He's so cool, and he fits right into like my favorite kind of anti-hero, half demon kind of guy and whatever. So it's really good. I think
forever. Old Dante forever. New Dante sucks.
Yeah. So, if you never played the video games, you're not really missing out on anything. Really, the animation kind of goes in its own direction, still taking from the video game series, but it's just almost like a retelling almost of Devil May Cry in a way. So I think if you like the video game series, you'll definitely like the Devil May Cry DMC, let's call it anime. I like Claymore a lot. This is my personal preference. I like Claymore, but the only thing is that it only lasts for one season and it doesn't go by the manga. So of course the the first season's ending is completely different from the manga. So I guess that's why they probably couldn't continue to the second season. But I like the action in it also. I don't know. I really like action stuff like that. So I definitely like Claymore a lot. And of course, I'm all for like these half demon girls, beating up demons and shit like that. So I'm all for that.
I saw a little bit of Claymore. It seemed pretty good. I couldn't get too into it, but it was just personal preference. It had nothing to do with the quality. But a buddy of mine liked Claymore, and he had like the best description for it. For anyone that hasn't seen Claymore, you're wondering if you'll like it or not. He called it Berserk for her.
Yeah, I do think that, but it gets actually after the first episode, it gets even better and better and better, and then the manga is even better than the anime, I think, because the manga, it's just the pacing is awesome in it, and then the characters in it, they're not your typical like tsundere like girls or whatever. They're actually they are half demon, but they're kind of each has a different personality, but they're hella cool and they're hella strong. So even the strongest characters have some backstory that's so fucked up, but it's really awesome to how it works into their lives in the present moment. So. Yeah, I think Claymore. I think Claymore kind of predates Attack on Titans. Like Attack on Titan, the manga is kind of shitty, like the drawing style.
Yeah,
but the story is strong though. The story is pretty strong, and Claymore is kind of the same way. But the drawings are a lot better. But it's still kind of like, well, it's not like as beautiful or sophisticated as like Berserk or whatever, but it does the job and it's really kind of creepy in a way. So if you really like Claymore, you should really read the manga and then you can watch the anime series or vice versa. But the anime series is really short though, so I would really want to watch that on Toonami.
And I guess I would go with my go-to answer for everything, Hunter x Hunter. only because I think the world is being deprived of a great series that I don't feel is getting the treatment it deserves. I think I want to say it's probably one of the most underrated series out there, and I think it would work really well with a lot of the stuff that they have on Cartoon Network. Even as violent as it gets, I mean, the fact that they have Attack on Titan on there gives me hope that they can play pretty much anything, but not Berserk. And let's go to the people that. I was going to give them a name, but that's too corny. The people who are Twitter followers who posted something, and Death Blow at the _greatest48 put Kill la Kill and Fairy Tale.
Why would you sully Toonami with Kill la Kill?
I mean, I could see Kill la Kill like only from a marketing aspect.
They probably will. That's what sucks. They probably will when Kill la Kill is dubbed. Totally play it on Toonami and that. That's like an albatross. That's like a dark cloud kind of forming in my perfect little world. Like, no. Kill la Kill is going to be on your TV. You're going to have to change the channel.
Hopefully they play it at, the time that we're doing this podcast, so you feel less guilty that, you're not watching it live.
That or while Red Eye's on, so I could just switch over so I have to watch something else because there's nothing else on at this hour. So
it's like if you're a wrestling fan, when somebody horrible comes on, when Doink the Clown comes on, you go, I can go to the New World Order.
Don't on Doink, man.
Doink was legit. And Fairy Tale, of course. We talk about Fairy Tale enough, which is only a few seconds. That's
all.
Next, we have gfretro.exe. Do not download, because it might be a virus. At Retro Senpai, we have Robotic Notes and Corpse Princess. Now, what's up with Robotic Notes? The whole Notes thing. What's the other one?
Steins Gate,
yeah.
I don't know. I've heard like there's another one with a semicolon. I forget what it is that comes before Steins Gate, and I heard like that one's not that great, but Steins Gate is supposed to be amazing. I don't really have an interest in it, so I haven't seen it. Maybe I'll see it one day. I can't really gauge. I know 2Gam has seen them.
Yeah, like a lot of people.
I think they did a couple episodes on them.
A lot of people put Steins Gate as their favorite anime, that I've come across, and I watched a little bit of it when it was simulcasting. I guess I might as well get back into it because from what I gathered, this basic story was they had dealt with time travel, and there's this like mad scientist, but he's like not really all there. He's like a very aloof, and they're dealing with time travel, and he has like his group of assistants that are with him, and there's this mystery, and that's pretty much as I got out of it. But Steins Gate. Yeah. Oh, we're talking about Robotic Notes anyways. Well, there you go.
By the way, Toonami apparently just announced in their commercials that they've got, it's not an anime, but now they're playing Beware the Batman too. So they're just getting new shows left and right.
Corpse Princess.
You can change the channel when that's on, but still, it's a new show. It's a part of a pattern.
Corpse Princess. I haven't heard anybody really talk about that series.
I've heard some things here and there, none of them good, so...
Oh, this person likes Corpse Princess. Evan O at D Marth returns, and he's the first of many that says Jojo.
Jojo!
And that's Jojo's Bizarre Adventure for those of you not in the know.
In fact, make this quick. Let's just list everybody that says Jojo. We got P. Alex, Patrick Prudlick, again, my old friend. We got Noob at Noob721. No Stances Emperor at SD Shamshell, SHAMSHEL, is ripe for Mojo Jojo's Bizarre Adventure gags. Colton, who was on Jojo, enough said.
At Sniper King 323.
Yes, and that's for the Jojos. And although it hasn't been dubbed yet, I, as a hardcore Jojo fan, am pensive about a dub. And the reason why I used to be eager for one. Now I'm a little pensive, and what made me pensive was getting All-Star Battle. All-Star Battle decided to go, like, just scorched earth and change so many of the fucking names of shit. And it's like, oh, it's copyright because it's named after stuff, which is bullshit. Because you have stuff, like, that makes pop culture references all the goddamn time. Like, where are the fucking ocean of lawsuits on Family Guy or any TV show where someone mentions, like, oh, I was listening to some Whitesnake yesterday. Oh, we gotta change what he said. He said Whitesnake. Bullshit. Like, half of them are innocuous words. Like, one guy's got a stand called Echoes, which is named after an album, but it's still just the word Echoes. They changed that. Like, one has a stand named Oasis. Again, named after the band, but by itself, it's the word Oasis. They changed that. And some of them were ridiculous. Like one guy has a stand, Sex Pistols. They changed it to Six Bullets. One person.
I think your comparison to Family Guy, because Family Guy goes more on the line of parody.
Even then, they'll have a character from something show up, or they'll name something, or just they'll mention.
But who's to say they aren't paying to do that? I mean, they are on Fox.
But even before, even their earliest episodes, when it was they obviously did not have the budget they have now. There was no fucking problem. You have TV shows all the time that can mention this stuff, and there's no precedent for this. You never hear of a series that got sued out the ass because it named a character Polnareff. You that doesn't happen. That has never happened. Even somebody
would get fired in their legal department.
Even the JoJo game that came out for the PS1 that was recently re-released in HD as a downloadable title on PSN has these names. Like, they changed Polnareff's name in All-Star Battle, and they changed the most 4kidsy thing because he's French. They changed his last name to Eiffel, as in the power. But when the game that was released here, he's Polnareff. The Viz released a manga of the part 3, even though they made some ridiculous changes. Some of them I can't understand. Like, there's a guy, Rubber Soul, named after an album. They changed his name to Rob. Yes, they changed his name to Robber Soul. And there's another guy, Steely Dan. They changed Steely Dan's name to Rubber Soul. They changed Steely Dan's not beat.
I'm joking.
They changed Steely Dan's name to Rubber Soul.
What?
What? Yeah. It makes no fucking sense. Like, and what the game did when it changed names was actually smart, and that's what they should do. If you're going to change the name, it's very easy to change the name, skirt the copyright, and not have to do something like change a character whose name Jay Guile and change his name to Centerfold. You know, all you have to do, tweak the spelling. That's it. Like, they did that all the time in the PS1 game. Like, there's a guy who's named Kenny G, and they didn't want to get sued, so what do? They spelled it Ken-E-G-E-E. Kenny G. It's still Kenny G. They just changed how they spelled it. Boom. That's all you need to do. There's a guy named Devo. Would they call him in the PS1 game? D''B''O. Debo. It's close enough. It's not. It's not like
40, Craig.
It's not like what Viz did and called him Soul Sacrifice. It's like, close. What the fuck are you doing? You're so fucking scared of copyrights. Fucking get a fucking legal department that knows, like, that fucking finished law school. So after seeing the ridiculous changes in All-Star Battle, which are even more pointless because they didn't dub it, so the characters, it's the Japanese dialogue, they still say the names. So, like, the subtitle will say, like, one character has a stand, Sticky Fingers, and they change it to Zipper Man, which, again, doesn't make sense because Sticky Fingers is a fucking phrase. But, like, it'll say, like, little hyphen, Zipper Man, but then you hear the guy, Sticky Fingers! It's not working, which you did. So that's made me pensive for a JoJo dub now. Like, I love JoJo. Maybe that's what's taking the anime so long. Like, maybe Funimation got it and they're trying not to be dicks about it, so they're actually, like, having their legal department sort all that shit out. I hope that's why.
I don't feel like that's a Funimation title though.
And hey, it's got.
I see if anybody getting that. I think Sentai might grab that.
I don't know. That's totally Funimation. They love those.
Discotheque.
They love those. There's a ton of hype behind it. It's the next big thing. Everybody's talking about it. They love that shit. Funimation eats that shit up. If there's buzz behind a title, Funimation's like, Buzz? I heard Buzz. Where's Buzz? They're like,
what? Buzz? What?
Yeah, they're pop up like
mine,
fucking
mine.
Like ducks that see you approach with bread. Like, whoa, Buzz! I see Buzz. Come on, guys, there's Buzz. So that should be like a meme. Like, Funimation are like seagulls from what's that show? Finding Nemo. mine. Drew Akira with an exclamation point at Drew Akira without an exclamation point. Okay. Gargantua on the wondrous planet. Virtuous.
I want to say wondrous.
It's very wondrous, this show.
I'm from Romania. Yeah, so that, I don't know why. Maybe because they like Gen Oroboro, or whatever his name is. Orobuchi.
The man who can't write by his own admission. So he's like, Ken Orobuchi's a fantastic writer. Not according to him. He fucking admitted, I can't write character development, so I just make people suffer. That's the same thing. And he wasn't
doing that modest thing where, no,
No, he didn't flat out say, I can't write, but he flat out admitted, like, he's not good at regular character development, so he just makes bad things happen to his characters, and he thinks that's the same thing.
He actually said that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's why, like, every Ken Orobuchi thing, like, go look at Madoka Magica knowing that, and it's like, oh my god, Cody Byer was right about everything he's been saying. God damn it. And then you're going to get mad because you didn't want me to be right, but you know what? I don't want me to be right either, because I'm always right about the worst things.
Gear 9000 at Gear 9000, easy enough, But Hunter, you know the right things to say to me.
Sean, I didn't know that your Twitter handle was Gear9000.
Damn it, Cody, you got me again. So that was of course, if you forgot what we're talking about, that's with the Attack on Titan thingy, and it was anime series airing on Toonami. Yeah, that's it. That's the ticket. So the next question, or last question from our A3K poll, is who is the most powerful anime character? And obviously, I'm not looking for the right answer here, people. So anyone who's sent in saying, well, this isn't a question you could really get the answer to, go kill yourself.
This is a dumb, are we back in high school with this question?
I mean, that's exactly the point I'm making. It's just a fun question that people can just, what's the word? That people can just put something out and people go, oh, I mean, we are talking about anime, people. It's like we're supposed to have some deep, thought-provoking question. I have to do 3 of these things a week. I'm going to run out of things eventually, so cut me some slack. And as a matter of fact, this one I got the most response out of any question I ever done. So.
Well, this is like fanboy bait. You throw it out there, and you put your fishing line, you wait to reel them in.
But I mean, some of these could be argued, and it's almost like who would win in a fight, Superman or Hulk? There's a reason why those sort of questions are popular, because people like to think they sound smart by supposing different hypothetical situations. Well, if you think about it, the Incredible Hulk. Ready, Hulk's up, it's up about that.
Well, it's like, that's one thing, like, if you're arguing about within the same, let's say, story or franchise or in similar franchises, but, like, in all of anime ever, it's, like, see, I'm that kind of specific motherfucker. I can't, like, just, I gotta consider everything and fucking, like, it's always gonna be, like, generally, it's gonna be in the worst shows because they'll have, like, written their characters to be like fucking Madoka Magica. At the end, she becomes God because of a loophole with the wishes, because the villains didn't think their plan through, and now she's God. And it's like, so of course, technically Madoka, and that's depressing. Oh God, probably is Madoka or some other shitty show where the main character touches you and you die. The only show I can think of that's good that would have a character that would be like God tier, strongest in all of anime, maybe like some of the later Jojo characters, to bring it back to Jojo. Because, I mean, you had like...
all things eventually come back to Jojo.
They really do, though. There's so much anime that pulls from Jojo, it kind of does all come back to Jojo. But, like, fucking, you had Funny Valentine, who could literally kill you instantaneously with a paradox, and you couldn't kill him. And then Giorno's Gold Experience Requiem, which negated everything back to zero, so no matter what you did to him, he canceled it out. And he put Diavolo in that death loop. But that's due to the more creativity of the powers. But with other series, it's like the strongest are probably going to be like it's the end of the series, and so unlock the ultimate super elemental power of breast milk, where he looks at you funny and you explode. So technically, he could beat anyone in any anime. Because with the mega ultra golden breast milk, he looks at you funny and you explode. It's like,
isn't that the premise of Camper or whatever?
No, well, I was making fun of Seiko no Quasar with the breast milk.
Oh, okay. There's a couple of them I remember watching. I was like, this is bad.
You mean to tell me there's more than one anime where breast milk is a power?
Yes, they have some kind of thing about that here. I don't know why.
Breast milk, you make my day.
You cannot bring Chappelle into this.
So I take it that Cody, your answer is this is a stupid premise and a stupid question, so I don't have an answer.
Both stupid and a little depressing, because what would technically be correct, like I said, is probably from terrible shows. And
funny enough, in some of our answers, you are right. So JD, if you had to pick.
I've been thinking about this actually. Everyone who's kind of great kind of dies, so I guess they're not all that powerful.
You tell some of these trolls too. Some of these are troll answers.
Yeah, I don't really know.
All right. So with that being said, and me, I don't know either. I just put it out there. I was short for an answer. I was like, it's been a while since I've done one of these A3K polls. Let me think. What's the powerful character? Oh, that sounds an interesting one.
You went for the low-hanging fruit.
The random one.
Oh my goodness. But hey, once again, it's giving us something to talk about. Well, we didn't even go into them yet, and we spent like 50 minutes on this topic. So hey, it wasn't that bad now, was it, Cody? No, it still was. First one, Snowy at Snowy likes butts. I think they just made that Twitter account, so I would say that.
Likes big.
Lucy from Elfenlied.
She's okay. I wouldn't say she's badass, but she wouldn't be the strong.
Okay, let's try to figure out why they would say this person is the strongest. Like, what in their mind would rationalize them to think this is the
first scene, of course, a naked ass girl with a helmet walking around the base and just tearing people's heads off with nothing except these invisible arms that come out of her back or whatever. And yeah, have you guys watched Elfenlied?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yes, a little bit.
Yeah, I watched it.
Before I was like, why am I watching this? I value my time, and I went and watched something else.
It's just weird. I don't know. I would be like, yeah, she almost got her butt kicked by this little, not retarded, but handicapped girl.
Wow.
Retarded.
Wow, JD.
Sorry. I was trying to think of the word.
I'd expect that from Cody, not from you, JD. Not from you.
Well, we've established that every episode she's a bigot, so...
I'm just not great at speaking.
I wish it was that easy to retract that statement in like the public view is like the president's like, well, I just came from a place for handicapped people. I mean, from retarded people. I mean, a place for a hospital for paraplegics.
Can we start this one?
Can we do this? No, this is live.
Look, I'm not that great.
This is the State of the Union. Oh, okay.
They didn't let me bring the teleprompter. They were being a little retarded. God damn it! I did it again.
I mean, the guy that the retard. I mean, the guy with the glasses.
Can I get a do-over?
Nope. Okay. All right. So we're going with this one. All right. Next we have Patrick Prudick at P.Alex. Gonna point at Giorno Giovanni.
Giorno Giovanna. He's the Jojo of Part 5 from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. He's the guy I just mentioned with Gold Experience Requiem.
Given he turned out so broken, Araki had to start ignoring Part 5, or there'd be no more conflict.
Yeah, because sometimes characters from previous parts will appear in later parts, and sometimes they'll even be major characters. Like in Part 3, Joseph Joestar is one of the main characters. And he's right. The power that Giorno got at the end was so ridiculous that he basically, he couldn't do that with Giorno because there'd be no conflict. Giorno, it has by the end of Part 5, one of the most powerful stands in all of JoJo. Like I said, it resets everything to 0. So no matter what you do to him, it's canceled. No matter what is done, he can cancel and reduce everything back to nothing, back to 0, back to the beginning, whatever. It puts one guy in a basic loop where he keeps getting killed, and then it's reset back to 0, and then he's killed again and reset back to 0. So he's dying over and over infinitely for all eternity.
Nice.
So that's basically his power. Like, it nullifies anything to the ridiculous degree that you can take the definition of nullifying anything. So he's got a point there.
Yeah. So DiGiorno is not that good.
Yeah. Well, it was at the end of the series. It's not like throughout the whole thing he's broken. But
when you say DiGiorno, I'm thinking pizza.
Yeah, I did that on purpose.
That's a joke, $4.
DiGiorno. It's not delivery. It's DiGiorno Giovanna.
Patrick's got a point.
Can we pull out all the JoJo stuff and the DBZ because there's a lot of repeats here?
Well, there's not a lot of repeats here.
Let's see, Goku.
Hold on. Let's give these people a shine. One part of it is the poll. The other part is giving a shout out to the people who follow us on Twitter.
Yeah.
Gear 9000 at Gear 9000 says Goku. And I don't know how you could pick Goku and the guy dies more times than
there's a dude.
joke from...
Well, yeah, and as of the whole Battle of the Gods thing, we now know who is the most powerful in the entire DBZ canon universe, and it's not Goku.
Oh,
it's because I don't know if you see. It's neat. It's fluff. Basically, it's nothing that's gonna like rock the DBZ universe aside from a little look into the DBZ universe, but it's very much like like what Funimation said about DBZ. There's a 9-year-old boy in every minute. Battle of the Gods is for you.
Okay.
9-year-old boy in every minute.
And we have Brainwasher Detective at Hisui RT, and that's, of course, one half of the Reverse Thieves. We have Neko Arc. I don't know what that means.
That is from Melty Blood, which is the fighting game based on Tsukihime. I'm assuming it's this guy has a fascination with Type Moon and Melty Blood and Tsukihime.
Yeah, I believe that's true.
Neko Arc was an unlockable sort of joke character that was a little miniature cat version of the main girl character, and she was very hard to fight because she's fucking tiny. I think she's banned in tournaments. He's making a joke.
So it's one of those infamous joke answers. Blast you, internet! Another joke answer. Blues at badass_blues Johnny Test.
That's probably because of what we said yesterday.
Yes,
not yesterday, last week.
He's probably the one who put Johnny Test last time.
I think it was Tyler with this guy.
Vincenzo Averello at Vinny AVEAGC put Chi Chi. I guess these people are answering it the way it should have been answered, with joke answers.
Yeah, really.
Daniel Hatsune at DJ D
Deuces. I guess double deuce.
Goku and Madara Uchiha. Rock Monster.
There are anime girls in bikinis on my TV. Let me turn this shit off.
Hey, that's the only thing that's supposed to have on there. Robert Frank at Blob Guy.
There's no answer to this question. It's flawed and you should never have posted it on Twitter.
All right. Jerk.
Well, yeah, Robert's technically right.
Well,
now who's getting trolled?
Podcast over. Edward Sizemore at Ed Sizemore, but at Astro Glide Boy, and Pluto is a close second. If you haven't read the manga, Pluto is a thing. JD, read the next one.
Kawashima Kyle at Purple Kawashima.
Oh wow, check you out.
Called studying. Woo.
It's almost like she can speak and read Japanese.
Well, I feel special. So far to me is Luffy D Monkey. Really? Of One Piece. And yeah, that's a character, this obscure character that it's not even worth going into mentioning. You have to have to read in order to know who that is. Jack TWD fourth at Jack TWD fourth. Unfortunately, and this is kind of what you were leading to, Cody. Unfortunately, it's Harui something or other. That sucks.
I'm with you, Jack. You're technically right, and like I said, that's depressing.
And that's her new name, Harui something or another.
Well, I mean, it's fitting because why? Because to hell with that bitch.
You die. I'm gonna
Go down, you die.
Colton at Sniper King 323, who's on last week's episode. Gintoki from Gintama. Surprise. He can literally destroy anime, as shown in this meme. And click the meme. Oh, wow! I forgot to put the link. Yes, this actually happened. So he put a link.
Well, if we're gonna pretend that cartoony gags count as a superpower, then the most omnipotently powerful character in all of animation is the pencil from Looney Tunes.
I agree with you, Cody.
Okay. Fanboy Elitist at Super Deformed put the atomic bomb.
I like you, fanboy elitist.
Yeah, I think it's Carl or somebody.
Hey, look at Grave of the Fireflies. That fucking character wrecked the whole fucking country.
Dave Merrill at Terry B Funhouse in response to Super Deformed.
It's Telebi.
It's what?
TV. It means Telebi. It means TV in Japanese. TV Funhouse.
All right.
Oh, it's a reference to Saturday Night Live.
Oh, awesome. I'd accept either Fat Man or Little Boy. Oh, because those are the names of the atomic bombs or something?
Yes.
Awesome. I feel like my thing's been hijacked. My assholes. Gang O.
Is that like their jib?
Gang OG at
Either spectacular or spectacular.
Mystic Gohan. Mystic Gohan what is that? I saw that and I don't understand that.
That was in Dragon Ball Z during the Buu saga, when Gohan had his latent powers unlocked in order to fight Buu. But this is again
that M thing that's on their foreheads?
No, that's the Majin.
No, that's Majin Buu.
Yeah, that's Majin. No, when he had all his latent powers unlocked and he went and fought Buu. But again, that's wrong because Buu then absorbed him and turned into Super Buu. So Super Buu would be stronger. But then you had Vegito stronger than that. Point is, this is wrong answer, man. It's wrong answer. You gotta do your homework. Do your research, man. Do your research.
I thought there was no answer.
Woo!
I'm just gonna be louder than you, Cody. That means I'm right. Woo!
I'm a Dragon Ball Z fool.
Severin. At Severin, Severren. For me, it's Alucard from Helsing Ultimate. Yuno Gasai from Mirai Nikki and Homura in Madoka Magica Rebellion.
Yeah. It's Alucard.
Sideshow Bob.
That's how Madoka Magica makes me feel. I just get that Sideshow Bob.
Get that rake in the face. That was the funniest gag back in the day. Oh
that was great. But
no one knows anymore.
At least, funny Simpsons is dead. At least he's got Alucard on there, so I know he's watching something good.
Mal at Mellow King Mal 05 Luffy, which is a repeat, and next one Shadow Flash at Shadow Pony DBZ. I guess I thought it was Jeopardy.
No, this this is the guy that was in the new special that is revealed to be the most powerful character in the DBZ universe. His name is Whis.
I thought you were saying who is and forgot to type the O.
Because there's this god that looks like a weird naked cat, but he also kind of looks like Anubis. And his name, his name is Beerus, because, Dragon Ball's got all those funny pun names. Beerus, Whis, as in whiskey. Beerus is like the god of destruction, and Goku fights him, but Goku didn't even win. Spoiler, because whatever. But then Beerus reveals that the guy that was like his sort of looked like his handler, not really a servant, but like his sort of guy that just kind of looks after him. Turns out that Whis guy is his martial arts teacher, and that Whis dude is the most powerful being in all of the Dragon Ball Z universe. And I implore everyone to go look up this guy, because kudos to Akira Toriyama. Gotta love this guy, because you know how Dragon Ball Z fans are all about everybody's got to look badass and super. If they're strong, they got to have the sleek designs and spiky hair. Now go look up this WHIS guy. Look at that guy. That dude is the most powerful thing in the Dragon Ball Z universe. Go look him up.
That's like South Park, the real face of God. It's like this blob.
Yeah, no, it was like a hippo midget with a... Because everything's in God's image. I thought that was clever as shit. So he was like amalgamation of fucking everything.
Next is Kamaje at _ I am not your son. Luffy, and then he put Itachi Uchiha. Do the Tachiya Uchiha, it's Itachiya Uchiha. It's Lisa. Next, Lelouch v Britannia.
You skipped a bunch.
No, how did I skip a bunch?
Yeah, because after the person says, "Oh, fuck, that's the person's name." God damn it.
You thought Lelouch was one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wait, no, that's not next. Oh, that's the person's name. God damn it.
It's been a while since you messed up on one of these, Cody. It's okay. At the God of Anime, that's Broly. I don't get that one because wasn't he like defeated in the first movie he was in?
Yeah, and then he came back, but he wasn't as strong, and his mind, like his brain had snapped, and then he came back again, but he was just barely alive. He was revived as like a blob, so.
And then he gets beat by like the kids, like by little baby Trunks and baby.
Yeah, because he was less strong, and his mind was just gone because he was already kind of like just psycho in the beginning. But he was cool when he debuted, but he wasn't that strong.
Fate Evernicus at Trippy TR3PPY Hippie Neji Springfield. Abdul
Tinez, is that you?
Podcast Slam. Abdul Majid at T. Damn, these names are crazy. T. Shinigami Kira. Oh, I think they like Death Note. Rorona Zoro. Who the hell's that? Well, anyways, moving on. I'm joking. Why did everybody say he's so powerful?
He was really strong. I think a lot of these are on there because they impressed the person. Like they did something really cool and strong.
But I've heard people say he's the most powerful person in One Piece, or like the strongest person in One Piece.
That's blatantly wrong. I think it was just again, like he's done impressive, cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When he wins a fight, he tends to royally kick his opponent's ass. So I think that's like it. Just he just was impressive, and that stuck with people.
Then the next one is another Goku, Muddy at Muddy120. Then we have, I like this person's last name, James Todd Russell.
Easy to please.
Yeah, I like soda. At Lando Jealous, and that's you can't escape Jojo. Cars from Jojo.
Well, Cars was the ultimate life form, the peak of all evolution.
Was that from the second one?
Yeah, part 2.
Okay. And Iota Soul from Iota Soul or Loda Soul, depending on what that's I or L. Vash the Stampede, who was a plant. Was that a spoiler?
At this point, statute limitations is out.
Yeah. T something line 3 Abby 555 at Abyss 1992. I'm guessing that's when they were born. I would have to agree with Alucard, especially after the last chapter of the manga. Because you all know in the last chapter of the Hellsing manga, Alucard. I don't know. I didn't read the manga. All right. So, the next thing we're going to move into is we got a voicemail. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a voicemail. And we are going to first play the voicemail so you can hear what Jimmy from Tulsa has to say, and then we're going to respond to it. See, ladies and gentlemen, that's how voicemails work. You hear the voicemail, and then you respond to it.
Ooh.
All right. I tell you what, this is Jimmy from Tulsa again. I'm going to give this one last time. In case you can't tell, I got a lot of time on my hands today. I'm off work, so... All right, I'm just going to read from my email. Hello again, it's Jimmy from Tulsa. I did a series of emails last summer. I have a question to anybody who wants to answer, but mainly Cody. I generally agree with Cody about his ideals of what makes a great story in regards to anime. I haven't caught Cloud Scratcher yet, though I will, and it's your neck on the line directly this time. Curious as to why you did not like Fate Zero. I understand that Type Moon may not be up your alley as a whole, and I can understand why you didn't like Fate Stay Night. But Zero was right up your alley in terms of character development, and it's got a solid story. Kiritsugu is one of the best anti-heroes I've ever seen in anime. Now, strictly to Sean, you said that you were going to do a Type Moon series chronology decipherment last summer. I finally figured it out as to what is what in the Fate series. By the way, Cody, Jormungand and Psychopaths were great. I'm also a dub fan. I won't watch subs. I did catch Attack on Titan. It's the only first full sub series I've caught. I'll probably watch it on Funimation or on Tsunami just for the ratings. But anyway, they're both great. I strongly recommend them if you haven't caught the dubs yet. Thank you.
Well, so that was Jimmy from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and he's had two questions. So the first question we'll address. Cody, why didn't you like Fate Zero? Because go ahead.
I don't really like anything from Type Moon. First of all, Type Moon has its universe. It's like main overall Type Mooniverse. That's largely awful. It's got like a couple of cool ideas here and there, one or two cool villains, but it's basically, I can sum Type Moon up in 3 words: numbers, numbers, numbers. It's like you read it and you think, oh, this is a really complicated RPG. No, it's not an RPG. Then what are all these numbers for? Excellent fucking question. It's like here you have, this is like like, I know you're gonna get on me for this. It really is, and I'm not saying if you like it, you're one of these, but it really is like tailor-made for autistic folk, because it's got all these numbers and stats you can obsess over, and it's got like ranks, and everything's neatly organized, and just like a shitload of information you can just like overdose on the wiki for like a million hours. But basically, it's like, okay, everybody's got their you got the people, and then you have their servants that are all people from the past. This is the Fate series. And then, like, they all have titles, but then they're an actual person, and it's all really stupid when you find out who they are. It's like, why is Jack the Ripper or Loli? In that kind of shit. And it's more of this Type Moon buffoonery. And, like, it goes to... Type Moon shows don't really go anywhere except to resolve their plot. It's just... It spins their wheels... does their whole, here's our fucking characters with their stats, and they're getting the grail, and I'm this guy, this is my power, I'm this guy, this is my power, and all the ridiculous, the unlimited blade works fucking speech, it's stupid. And Fate Zero is basically just more of the same. I mean, it's like a little less cheesy than Fate Stay Night, but it's still Type Moon buffoonery now in a whole new fucking package with the same shit, different. I don't know if this is the one with Lowly Jack the Ripper or not, but this franchise has Lowly Jack the Ripper. So I think I'm gonna look stupid if that's like something else. But there's like 20 fucking things from Japan that's like, there's people that are real life stuff.
Nobunaga and the gun.
Yeah, everything. Oh, fucking Naga's fucking everywhere. I'm pretty sure he's somebody in the fucking Fate universe thing. I mean, and these Fate shows are all based on the same visual novel. Because what it was is you had, I think it was Fate Stay Night, and Fate Stay Night had these different routes you could go on. And depending on what route you go on, you got a totally different plot and villain, and you could fuck different girls. Because it always comes back to sex with Type Moon. These things are all porn novels that just had more plot than usual porn novels, so they made clean stuff.
How long is this? Because I've always wanted to just have it in my database of, okay, people are talking about this. I know that this sucks or it doesn't suck. Is it long? Like, can I get through it in a reasonable amount of time?
I don't think you could. It's long, but not super long. It's not like shonen long.
Like 26 episode long, 51
I think
episode?
well, you got Fate Stay Night. I think that's about 26. And then you got Fate Zero, which is playing now. And I want to say there's another Fate. I don't know if I'm thinking of the other path, because Fate Stay Night and Fate Zero, if I'm not mistaken, which I'm pretty sure not, are based on either different routes in that visual novel or at least supplementary material. Fate Zero, it's either way, it's all based on this visual novel. Hell, you could probably play that visual novel and get everything you need to know, but I wouldn't recommend it because it's fucking a visual novel with all the sex and stupid shit. Tsukihime was the same shit. It was a fucking visual novel, and then they made an anime, and Andrew Erickson of The Other Side has actually been doing... I think is it Andrew Erickson? No. One of the guys, either from The Other Side or Project After Looking At, has been doing a Let's Play of Tsukihime, and it's been hilarious, because he's been riffing it, and it's been great, because Tsukihime is really ridiculously stupid. But you want to know why I don't like Fate Zero? Because Type Moon stuff is just bad. And even like... Then you could like, oh, well, they're doing this, that, and the other. Well, you're still asking me to go on board for all of Type Moon's shenanigans. It's not like Tenchi, where it's just completely rewritten from the ground up by a different guy that can do it better. Like, it's still Type Moon. It's in Type Moon's world. It's in Type Moon's rules. It's in Type Moon's whole little fucking locomotion train they got chugging along with all its fucking bullshit and numbers and goofy characters and dumb plot twists, and Jack the Ripper's a lowly, I think.
So to answer your question, it's type moon, so it's not his type of thing. So pretty much.
I'm not obsessed enough with all the numbers and stats to get invested.
Okay. And to answer his question, as far as the Type Moon series, because I did mention I wanted to do that, I would think, on the previous A3K podcast, with Fight Bait. I still plan on doing it, but I want to, like I said, watch a couple of episodes of it, just so I have an idea. Even if I don't watch the whole thing, maybe watch a little of Stay Night and a little of Fate Zero, just so when people are talking about it, I'm not like, tell me more about this series I have no idea about, so I don't want to do that. So that's what I'm waiting for, but I do want to do it because there are enough people out there that watch this that would be interested in hearing that, whether it's an A3K panel. It won't be I won't do this to you guys. It won't be a podcast, but it'd probably be a panel, if anything. Probably bring see if his sweet Alan would want to come on and talk about it. Yeah, so that's that, and thank you.
Did you say you had a second question, or am I hallucinating?
No, the second question was I just
strictly
answered.
To Sean. Yeah. Okay, I'm dumb. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he recommended, of course, Jormungand.
Yeah.
And Psychopaths, and I believe it was just released recently. Two Gam, they do a podcast on everything.
Yes, they did.
They did a podcast on it, so you check that out. You learn more about that series. And then I think it's safe to say we can go to the news.
No, you're going to don't get the news. Don't get the news, then you're gonna lose.
All right, so we are news, and I pretty much for news what I do, just so you guys listening and girls, but I say guys because guys like men also means women. No, okay. So what I do is I go through Crunchyroll from today, which we record on Saturdays at midnight, and eventually, we're gonna try to have some live streaming here and have it only for exclusive people who are cool. I'm kidding. For the live, whatever. I go to Crunchyroll and I scour through all of the news. Anything that I feel like talking about, I talk about. There's a lot of news that's out there that I think might have been interesting, but I probably would have been a hypocrite to actually talk about it because I don't care about it. So just so you know why. Well, Sean, that happened. It was really big. I didn't care about that show. So I'm not talking about it. So Akira Toriyama reveals the names of Android 17 and 18. I thought that was pretty cool.
They're not androids. Technically, they were originally just number 17 and 18. Technically, 17 and 18 are cyborgs.
Nerd! Well, anyways, number 17 is Lapis. Lapis?
Yeah, Lapis, and then 18 is Lazuli. It's another name pun because Toriyama loves that shit.
What, Lapis is a pencil?
Lapis Lazuli is I believe, like a magic cure-all or something like that.
Ah, nice.
Toriyama loves him some name themes.
Like Cell is...
made of cells.
Oh, nice. And Vegeta is vegetable, right?
Yeah, all the Saiyans are vegetables.
Kakarot is...
Carrot.
Carrot. I didn't know. I'm just kidding. Gohan is rice.
A rice dish, yes.
Right.
Everyone in Dragon Ball is named after something random, innocuous, and silly.
Roshi is...
I forget what he is, but he's something.
And Raditz is radish.
Yes.
Nappa is Napa Valley.
Yeah, another vegetable. Yes.
Okay, nice. Chi-Chi is...
double pun, because can also be the name for milk or something like that. And it's also a slang for boobs.
And it's a slang for a gay man in Jamaican. Chi-Chi man. Yeah, so, okay, we can go through all the names, but I'd rather not. And they also say that number, 18 or 17? Number 17 becomes a park ranger at a nature preserve.
Yeah, because he kind of fucked off after that arc. You never saw him again. And I was like, what the hell happened to 17? So I guess Toriyama finally said, what the hell happened to 17?
That must be cool to have your own universe. It's just like, so what happened to this character that you wrote off? You're like, he's looking around his room. He's like seeing random shit. Yeah, he had a penny farm where he started a pennies. That's it. He's like, wow.
Let me update that wiki.
Dragon Ball Z returns to Cartoon Network, ladies and gentlemen. Stop the Liliograph machine. Dragon Ball Z is returning to Cartoon Network. But it's movie 5, Cooler's Revenge, that a lot of us have already seen. But still, it's a movie, and it's never been seen on Cartoon Network, and it's coming on May 24th. And, yeah.
What was that about?
What?
I said, what was that about?
Oh, that was about...
No, I'm saying...
I know, I got you.
You got caught.
Yeah, so that's a thing if you're going to watch it. And Pokemon toys are coming to McDonald's.
In case you thought it was dead.
Now all of you can go and you can get your Happy Meals and deprive these little children of their toy. And they're going to go and say, excuse me, sir, there are no more Pokemon toys? What happened? Oh, yeah, this anime convention just walked in here and bought all the Happy Meals. And there are no more toys for your
I
little...
ain't seen an injustice like that since BronyCon came to town.
And they stole all of my little pointy toys. What the hell happened there? Pointy toys.
I thought it was a weird regional accent.
Yeah, my pointy toys. That's how we say ponies in South Florida. Pony toy. Pointy toys.
Now who's the retard?
Oh, dude, that's no, not cool. I work with people with handicaps, and that's not funny. I'm joking. I'm not that guy. Japanese parents, and this is a fun one. Japanese parents pick a top 10 manga for their kids. And JD, if you don't mind, I would love for you to run down this list because you do it so well.
Yeah, where's the link?
The link is in Zelda.
Oh!
Woo!
Bringing it.
Hold on, let me find it.
It's in the show notes if you click it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you click the title, Japanese parents pick top 10.
Okay. I thought usually it turns to a different little finger-licking thing, and then it says Crunchyroll not found, so page not found.
Oh, that's right. You don't get Crunchyroll.
Yeah, I am in Japan, yet I don't get Crunchyroll.
Well, anyways, I'll read it then. Number 1.
Just put it in the show notes. Just copy and paste it in the show notes, James.
It's going to take too much work.
No, it's just highlight.
Oh,
Control
you can actually get the link?
Control V. Huh?
No, she wants you to... Oh my god. She wants you to copy and paste the list itself.
There is no... The list is separated by images. It's not that clean.
Oh, man. Are you serious?
Yeah. Well, it's...
Fucking Crunchyroll. Man, I can never find anything... Oh, jeez, I hate... Why are you giving these links to Crunchyroll? God damn it.
I don't realize that. I just think, like all Americans, everything revolves around us. And if it works for me, it works for you.
Okay, well, no, you can copy the words. There's the words.
Yeah, just copy the words.
Now I have to do editing? Oh my gosh.
Like you do every week? Like, oh my god.
I know, but it's more work, JD.
Well, I'm sorry if I can pronounce them. You can.
Well, they're not even the Japanese versions of the words.
Oh, well, then you say it then.
That's what I'm trying to do.
My head hurts.
If it was easy as you just clicking the link and looking at it, it was good. But
I can't even look at it.
I know. Oh my goodness. I might just leave this in. All right, starting from number 10. This is like the hardest one on the list. Chihayafuru.
Oh, I know that one. Yeah, actually, I have the first 2 manga of it. It's really good. It's actually about Karuta, which is basically it's almost like memory, but it's based off of these old, super old poems, and you just match the one half of the poem with the other half, and you have to hit the cards when they say it. It's pretty good. I like the drawings and stuff in it, and the story's pretty interesting. But if you're not really into more a slice of life kind of thing, then maybe you might not like this. But I think it's interesting.
And as a reminder, these are what parents are okay with their kids reading.
Very last one's Evangelion, and we have to ask questions.
9, Naruto. They picked that as number 9. Obviously, they haven't seen the Pain arc. or read the Pain arc, rather. Because this is manga, not anime. And this interesting picture, this suggestive picture with Sasuke straddling Naruto. Interesting.
That's so weird.
Slam Dunk, number 8.
Yeah.
Slam Dunk. Get those kids out there. The get up and move movement. Oh,
I would have thought they would pick Kuro's basketball. Not Slam. Slam Dunk's kind of old, so the newer one.
Maybe they remember.
Well, these are parents. So.
I know.
What they grew up reading and saying, "Hey, read what I like."
Chihaya Furu is kind of new, so it's not. It's newer than.
It's based on something traditional, like you said, and it's all about tradition over there. So if you base something on something traditional, they're going to understand it.
So I guess they picked Naruto because of ninjas.
Well, no, Naruto because that's big. But I mean, like you get a new show comes out and it's based on something traditional. It's like, oh, I know that traditional thing. It would be good for kids to know of that.
Yes.
Well, then that means that Hikaru no Go would be on this list then.
Well, doesn't that have some other shit going on?
It's Go, the game of Go.
Yeah, but doesn't that have some other shit that like?
It has a lot of traditional shit in it.
Maybe it's just not popular enough. So yeah, Slam Dunk, and then number 7. Oh yeah, I love you, parents, because you're awesome. Space Brothers. Woo! I love that show. If you listen to this network, and this show is awesome. So bad, so sad that the anime's over. That's probably why you haven't heard me talk about it in a few weeks, but it's still in my heart as one of my favorite anime series. Barefoot Gen.
Oh yeah. I know.
So that's a thing. That's about World War II, right? Because I see the atomic bomb in the background, so I'm assuming. And zombies. What the hell? I have to check that out.
Okay, number 5.
Number 5, Osamu Tezuka's Phoenix. Okay. All right. You get nothing? Nothing?
Oh, we'll talk about Osamu Tezuka later.
Ooh.
In my segment.
Number 4, Dragon Ball.
Oh, you forgot that some of these later ones have excerpts.
Okay. Number 5 says, a representative woman in her 30s who's read the whole cycle as a child praised Osamu Tezuka's self-described life works from the freedom of thought and expression it conveyed, as well as its value for life. She also noted that masterpiece of manga is one to be left for future generations. A woman in her 40s said that it's a manga that she's read many times when looking for answers in her own life and valued its expression of hope in the face of despair and unfairness. Nice. Whatever all that meant. Dragon Ball. I want my kid to be able to feel the stark contrast to the last one. I want my kid to be able to feel the same excitement for the adventures and fights that I did when I was his age, explained a 30-something father.
That makes sense. All parents are like that. Like, I really like this as a kid.
I want you to like it.
Sometimes, they've got a bit of a point. Like, hey, I grew up on this thing that was great. I would like you to experience it so that you also have the experience of this great thing. But then sometimes it's just like, I liked it, you have to like it.
And it's interesting as well, too, because the manga spans the entire series, right? From Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z. It's just the anime that creates the distinction between the two different ones.
Yeah, because the Z was because, and a lot of people don't know this, it was, when it started, it was supposed to be like the final arcs. Like, it was supposed to be winding down because Frieza was supposed to be the last bag. Basically, the reason why there's sagas, because each big villain was supposed to be the last guy. And then for one reason or another, he kept going. Like, Frieza was supposed to be the final boss. Basically.
Which would make sense because it wraps up the whole Saiyan, like, how that came.
Basically, the couple arcs before that, in one way or another, tied into Frieza. Basically, you think that Dragon Ball itself led up to Frieza. And then Frieza was gone. And he was, a great villain, and of course, inspired a generation of villains after him. But then he came and went, and then after that, we had the Cell saga with the artificial humans and all that,
which kind of ties to an earlier part of Dragon Ball.
And so good on Toriyama for not making it seem like it came out of nowhere. Kind of wrapped a nice ribbon on it. You get what I did there?
Ribbon Army.
And then Cell was supposed to be the last bad guy. And you can kind of see that, too, because he's the culmination of every villain they fought. So it makes sense. He's the final boss. He's everything in one.
Then what about Boo?
But then Boo came along.
It was just like milking it.
Yeah, at that time it was milking it. But though it did have some good things going. I like the fact that Boo reintroduced magic into the series. Because before then it became like so sci-fi. Magic was like, oh, like, that's back in Dragon Ball. That's kid stuff. We're in sci-fi now. And
then
Boo
GT, which he had nothing to do with, right?
Yeah, although he did like GT.
Because I guess I would love to see, if it wasn't like completely horrible, somebody take my creation and as long as I'm still getting paid for it, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've gone on record as defending GT myself, and I know Toriyama loved GT.
I liked GT when it was on Cartoon Network. It was good.
The dub was fucking terrible, but I did enjoy GT because it combined the cool stuff from Dragon Ball, the cool stuff from Dragon Ball Z. The first villain was fucking amazing. The first big villain, not like the first guy, the first episode. I'm talking about Baby. Kicked fucking ass, and there was no training arcs or anything like that. And then the next couple arcs had some problems, but they had some good ideas.
Number 3, Silver Spoon. Not to be confused with Silver Spoons with Alfonso Ribeiro and Ricky Schroeder. Yeah. Was this whole series done by the person from Fullmetal Alchemist? Or was it just a drawing?
It was inspired by her growing up because she grew up on a farm.
Oh, okay.
So it was inspired by...
That's a series I have to watch. I started it but didn't finish it. And a lot of people liked it when it came out.
They got the anime now and it's being dubbed, so...
Okay. There's a live action coming out, actually, or already came out, actually.
Do any of you watch the live action versions of anime?
Nope.
I did Kimi ni Totoke, which is a shoujo one, and that one was pretty good, actually. So.
Oh, no, I'm lying. I did see one. The live action Detroit Metal City movie. Okay. I did see that one.
So
you know what? I saw that one too, and I was like, it just looks more corny than anything else.
It was I think the ending was a little out of place. Like, the ending very much wasn't DMC with the whole inspirational thing. Like, no, Detroit Metal City takes a dump on that. But up until then, it was still a good ride. The ending, like I said, was lame, but it was a good ride. You had fucking Gene Simmons as Jack Ildark. And you have fucking Gene Simmons singing the song Fuckingham Palace. The movie is worth the price of admission alone for that. And up until the end, it was pretty good. It was pretty faithful.
I think I watched the live version of the live action version of Cromartie High. I vaguely remember watching that.
There was one.
Yeah,
there was one. I remember that.
Which is interesting. Silver Spoons, the guy says, a man in his 30s commented that he feels that it is important for children to appreciate where food comes from and the hard work that provides it to the consumer. So they need to do a series on how food is produced in America.
Oh shit! You know what?
They did. They had something like that. Rift
like
Tracks.
Pink slime.
That bullshit. But like Rift Tracks recently riffed, and I'll shill for Rift Tracks all day because they own my soul. They recently riffed an old special, This Is Hormel, which is pretty funny because it will either turn you into a vegetarian or, if you're me, make you hungry as fuck. But either way,
we get a robo Cody.
See, yeah. But yeah, you'll either be hungry as fuck or you'll be turned into a vegetarian. But either way, you get the funny jokes. And you get to see how meat is made. Granted, it was back in the, 50s, 60s. But still, he's meat, how meat is made.
Isn't that God?
Sean Russell, I will come down to Florida and I will slap you.
Doraemon.
Doraemon.
What did I say?
Whatever.
What did I say?
Doraemon.
How do you say it?
Doraemon.
And I said Doraemon?
Yes.
Oh, Doraemon. Oh, God. A man in his 30s commented, reading this series makes you feel like the future is just around the corner, and I hope it boosts my kids' imagination and creativity.
It's really actually a funny manga, actually. I know it's not popular in the States, but Doraemon really is, this magical cat with he has like magical pockets and stuff like that, but he's from the future. And it's really funny actually, because reminds me of Looney Tunes or Animaniacs kind of humor. So, but a little more subtle. And it's pretty funny though. I think that this is perfect for kids.
Isn't it a thing that the creator of Doraemon, did I say that right?
Yeah.
The creator of Doraemon, like there are no repeats, like you can't watch an episode again, like it's not available anywhere other than the original broadcast.
I'm not sure actually. Because I've only seen the manga. I haven't seen the anime.
I got that from, I had a conversation with somebody, a representative from Daisuke, and I think that's what she said. She said something to that effect, that we're talking about why it's not as popular in the States as it is in Japan. And
Daisuke.
Huh?
Daisuke.
Yeah.
Daisuke.
Why it's...
Whatever!
I know, gosh, you know what I'm talking about. Jeez, I'm not that guy. I've never been that guy. Where it's not as popular in the States because it's not available in the States because they won't allow it to be. So
what do they hate America?
No, I think they just don't. You know, there's so many episodes that it's popular enough that they don't need to like, you know, try to become popular somewhere else. Well, anyway,
tell me number one's Anpanman then.
No, number one is wait for it, One Piece.
Go Japanese parents.
Representative men in their 20s and 30s and one woman in her 40s commented that the manga not only offered adventure but also important lessons about compassion and comradeship. Comradeship.
Don't know if that's a word.
Camaraderie?
No, they say comradeship. Yeah, so One Piece.
Oh, hey, I'll totally get my kid watching One Piece. Hey man, check this out. Shit's awesome.
Dad, you totally blew my mind.
Watch with your dad. We'll bond.
Yeah.
We'll geek out and bond.
So that was a rundown of that. And then that's all I have. I know you guys have Cody, you have some news.
Yes. Now, last week we talked about how there was a new Osamu Tezuka exhibit in Japan. And I was like, well, something else about Osamu Tezuka has just come out. His weird porn. To quote io9.com, the daughter of Osamu Tezuka, legendary creator of Astro Boy, Blackjack, and Buddha, recently discovered some of her father's locked-away sketches, including a handful of drawings of a rather voluptuous mouse. Rocket News 24 explains that when Tezuka passed away in 1989, he left behind a locked desk whose key had gone missing. Recently, his daughter Rumiko Tezuka opened the desk and found some previously unseen gems, including sketches of the heroine from his marvelous Melmo. But she wasn't familiar with the mouse character from these drawings. According to Rocket News 24's translations, he tweeted, "I've got no idea what these were going to be used for. Certainly nudity is not uncommon to his works, and it looks like this particular character's figure offered a bit of visual humor. After all, it looks like she's been swallowed by or is turning into a snake over there on the left. Was this a character Tezuka was working on for a longer work, or just something he drew in private as a bit of sexy fun? For those who can't see it, and I doubt we'll link to it because it's not safe for work, and I have a larger image of it here for the folks sharing the podcast with me, and I will post it in the little chat window here, even though I posted it earlier for JD got here. There you go. So you can see the excerpt of the mouse. It's Osamu Tezuka was quite ahead of his time, because not only was he, basically the godfather of manga and anime and all that stuff, he was also apparently the first furry, and invented what we are now ever so familiar with here on the internet, transformation porn. As that picture on the left is a step-by-step, much like transformation porn does the whole step-by-step thing, of a woman morphing into a snake, and the snake has tits and an ass.
Nice. I think this is like the equivalent of like the browser history. Like, he died and he didn't get to clear it.
I would think if I were him and I had drawn like creepy, freaky stuff like this, I'd have been like on my deathbed, it's like the locked chest. Throw it in the river.
Burn my chest.
Shouldn't we find out what's in it? Hell no. Get rid of that shit.
That's why that explains the mystery of why they burned his chest when he was in the hospital after he passed away. He didn't mean for them to actually burn his chest, but burn his chest that had his porn in it.
For some reason, he died with third-degree burns on his chest, but they found his porn in another chest. Damn it! Like halfway through, like the kid realizes, damn it!
He burned.
Sorry, Dad.
He's like, get rid of my drawer.
Like this really does. For people who can't see it, I mean, this mouse is in some provocative fucking positions. This looks like fucking Secret of Nim porn. Like this is like if you Rule 34'd Mrs. Frisbee, you'd get this.
Nice secret.
I mean, it's not even it's Osamu Tezuka had something going on. My co-host Max Vader, because I bring this up also on the other side, and my co-host Max Vader said this puts Astro Boy in a whole new light. If you look at like some of the fucking what do you have like butt rockets and shit, it's
got real quiet.
That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, it's see, leave it to Cody to just come in and take a dump on everything that you cherish. You know, you got this guy that's all like, oh, he's made all this masterful stuff, and he's a great figure. And then here comes Cody to just dump on you. Hey, he also drew creepy furry porn.
I'm just mad that we have to wait 20 years to find Hayao Miyazaki's porn stash.
I know, but I'm going to laugh for days when we do.
It's gonna be like all the kid characters in suggestive situations.
I'm just gonna be fucking like,
it's like
spiteful giggling and a little bit of dancing.
Like, oh yeah, you know the guy, the greatest director of all time. Yeah, he was very into child porn. Everything I knew and loved is now ruined. I'm going to kill myself. Kiki, why?
I'm just in the background, kind of prance dancing.
50-year-old Cody's like, I told you. It's like, shut up, Grandpa.
Doing an old man jig.
What are you talking about? Oh, it's anime. Thing that died a long time ago. Don't worry about it. Of course, I wouldn't wish that upon anime. Of course, not on an anime podcast.
Hide your food and watch your vidcoms.
Your vidcoms. Joe, well, who's the next? Who's this?
Me.
Oh, so JD, do you have one?
Yeah, actually, and Cody might like this, actually. There's actually at the convenience stores here in Japan, we have JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, like different kinds of merchandise now. You can just find it at the convenience store, and Attack on Titan merchandise. There's candy. There's even underwear of JoJo's Bizarre Adventures stuff.
Why do I want that?
Now, let me ask you a question, JD.
Yeah.
What are the rules on like shipping things from Japan to like if I gave you some money to buy some of that stuff so I can like give away on Anime 3000, what are the mailing rules on that? Is that like allowed?
Yeah, it's just underwear, dude.
Well, I mean, I didn't mean the underwear. I mean like I'm not gonna give away underwear on the network, but like if I wanted to get some like
it's actually pretty cool looking. I'd wear it.
Hey,
why do I want it so badly?
You know what? That'll probably be like our biggest contest ever. We're giving away some JoJo underwear. Like, oh my gosh!
It's kind of purple though. It's really purple. So
yeah, it's JoJo. It's gotta be fabulous.
So we have the tissue boxes.
I gotta say though, this is heartening as shit because like. Look at all this good anime that's getting this big, huge explosion in popularity and all this merch and shit. It's not like, oh, it's Rei Ayanami fucking Tic Tacs and it's Haruhi.
It's like they finally have another. It's like I've been wanting these types of shows to come out for so long. You know, like back when we were doing it, the A3K stuff, JD. Remember we were like talking about what's the next thing. I think we finally have a slew of things that have come out that are the next thing, and I think we're going into a new era of anime, and that's pretty cool.
And I like this new era.
So,
well, I can since this is not available in the United States, I could get it, and it's local and it's pretty cheap actually. I already bought like Attack on Titan candy and some boxes and stuff. So
how long is it available?
It's Well, I think the JoJo's thing, they probably have leftovers still, so they'll probably this week will probably be, by the end of the week, probably be gone because it's so popular. But the Attack on Titan is still on for another month. So
all right, I'll talk to you off here and probably set something up at least because I think that'd be a really cool giveaway than just the typical, hey, we're gonna be giving out some DVDs from Funimation.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I can get here. I mean, they have a bunch of stuff and it's cheap. It's not like eBay where it's like $20 for something you can get for $2. You know?
keep an eye out on those things for me, and then
there's a lot of them. Like at the anime conventions they have like the cat ears thing and stuff, and they charge like $20 for those. They're only $1 here.
Holy
they're what they're worth over there.
yeah. I just don't get that. I'm like, and then the gloves are like $15. I'm like, they're only $1 here.
I'm like a real life Neko Mimi. Look, it reacts when I think things.
And then tapping on the shoulder. Look,
I am
I have cat ears.
I am the cat girl.
Like, okay, God. Okay,
I'm gonna
Aaron.
put this on my body pillow, and it'll be like she's real.
Ooh.
Yeah, you can get a body pillow here for like $10 instead of like 20 or 30.
There was some at Otakon going for $100.
Fuck no.
If people that bought the $100 body pillows, we don't need you.
Any other news, guys, before we go to the takeaway?
This just in: Cloud Scratcher rated best webcomic ever by all the cool people.
Ooh,
go read it.
Wow. Well, there you go, guys. That just in. That's
the takeaway.
That's the takeaway. And that's Anime 3000 Podcast. No. So with that being said, Cody, what have you been doing? No, that's the wrong segment. What can we expect from you in the future, Cody?
Well, like I said, now that I'm not sick anymore, although again, you've probably heard, still got this damn cough that won't go away. Back to recording. We just recorded a couple more things. We did one that will probably be up in a couple weeks where we got heavy. Like by the end of the episode, that's probably one of my favorites in a while because we got into like some existential shit, and then Max and I got into it about religion, and it was great. And it's good. This is what podcasting is all about. How many fucking anime podcasts will make you think about your life and your existence? None. That's why you listen to the other side. Yeah, look forward to that. Still working on Cloud Scratcher. Actually going to be, again, like I said, got the t-shirts coming soon. Also going to be setting up a Patreon account. For any of those who don't know what Patreon is, it's sort of like Kickstarter, but instead of like donating money for one, like in one lump sum to fund one thing, you can be a patron, you can be a backer for different things, and you can sort of donate like even just maybe $1 a month to help sponsor something. So we'll be setting up a Cloud Scratcher Patreon thing.
Nice.
And like I said, if you want to help support the comic, if you've checked it out and you liked it and you want to throw a little support, because if the more money I start getting from this thing, the more I can do for it, the more pages per week I could put up, the more merchandise I could start putting out, really start ramping this thing up. And if everybody reading it now were to donate like $1 a month, I'd have like several $1,000s a month. I could totally just go ham on this thing. So I'll be setting that up within the coming weeks. I'm going to be working on, because you can't just like, I'm going to put up this page, now give me some money. I gotta make this like, professional. It's a presentation. It's a professional presentation.
And is it like a timeline on it, or it's just like boom?
No, it's perpetual, but you can set like a cap, like a monthly cap. Like I'll have it. I'm planning on setting it so like it would be per update, because you can do per month or per whatever. Like if you put out music videos, there's people that have like, I make music videos, and I'm asking for like you whatever. Like it's not like you ask for amount, but like if you donate, this is the collective thing, and I'll be collecting the money per video. So maybe
it's like a band camp sort of thing.
Kind of. But like, or they can do per month. If it's somebody who puts out like a web comic where they update like every day. So there's like, okay, well, a month's worth of comics per month. I'll collect it.
I'm going to have to look into that.
So I'm planning on doing it per update, which I update once a week. But sometimes life hits me and I have to miss an update. I try to make it rare, but it happens. Okay. But that way I'm gonna have it per update, so that if I miss a week, you don't have to pay me, because that wouldn't be fair.
When do you think you'll have that up?
Not this coming week. Hopefully, if everything goes according to plan, next week.
Where are you doing your shirts through?
I mean, the following week, the week after the following week.
Where are you doing your shirts through?
I'm still shopping for some places. There's this place. What is it called? Because they seem really good and they come highly recommended. Redbubble. At redbubble.com. They do print on demand for not just shirts, but a lot of variety things. Here they're very good.
What have you heard about Cafe Press?
Bad things. Bad things.
They're kind of going downhill right now.
Yeah, and they screw you. They take so much of a percent, and the quality isn't even that great. Whereas Redbubble, they're very supportive. Like I said, they print a lot of different things, be it shirts or actual prints, posters, whatever. They're fair. They work with you. They're very supportive of artists and all the people that are trying to get out there. So probably going to go through them. That's what it's looking like. And plus, they're print on demand, and they set up a shop for you so you can buy them through Redbubble. So I don't have to have the shirt shipped to me and then ship them to everyone who buys them. They can just buy them right through Redbubble. Okay. So probably going to be doing that. I don't know when the shirts are coming. Hopefully soon. I just finished one T-shirt design. I got 2 more to go. I'm going to launch with 3 shirts initially. And, of course, the book, which is slow going, which is why I started on some of this other stuff, because I just have so little time, and it takes time to remaster these pages because I'm trying to make them look way better than they do on the page. If you actually check the Cloud Scratcher Tumblr, you can find the link on the Cloud Scratcher site, www.cloudscratcher.com. If you check the Tumblr, I have posted, and will post again, previews of the remastered book. Like, here's some of how this panel looked in the original page. Here's how it looks remastered. So if you want to see what's coming up, you can look there. And, of course, as always, cloudscratcher.com, keeping up with those updates. I'm actually looking at a page now that I'm working on as we record. That's what I've been doing this whole time, everybody.
I think we all know that by now.
Yeah. Yeah, check it out. That is pretty much consuming me at this point. I haven't even done really any other art projects or any other art jobs. Well, one. I've got a commission that I'm doing. But aside from that, I've been consumed by all things Cloud Scratcher. It's my heart and soul I'm putting in this, everybody. So if you want to, if you want something easy to attack, to get back at me for attacking your favorite show, attack Cloud Scratcher. I'll promptly ignore it, but at least you got something you can use. And if you ever want to see me put my money where my mouth is, always talking about how to write a story, like, well, Cody, how would you write one? I'm writing one. Cloudscratcher.com. Check it out, everybody. Yeah.
All right. And JD.
And I've actually been doing a lot more blogging recently, and I actually published a couple posts, and one of the posts is manga courses for aspiring manga creators. So they're courses specifically for making manga style comics, and there's some that are free, some of them are online, some of them are limited, which means they're only in the United States or for high school students, and some of them are year-long or even 2-year long, and there's just some websites and stuff that you can try. They're in all around the world. So if you're at any part of the world, Indonesia, Canada, United States, even Japan, then here's a list of courses you can try or you can do or look at. So yeah, check that out.
Do you plan, or do you have a post? Like, for me, I've always, and I've mentioned this in previous podcasts, I like to draw, but I kind of want to get more serious about it. Do you have any starter or beginning advice for what to use, what equipment to use, as far as taking it from the concept to the final product on the computer?
Photoshop?
Photoshop is probably it's the best thing to do. And of course, Photoshop, if you buy it if you're a student in a university, you can buy it really a lot cheaper.
I have Photoshop, but
okay.
What's that process from? Do I draw it, and then what am I using? Copic markers?
You would draw. It depends on how you do it. I mean, I've only recently started inking with actual Illustrator pens. I currently use Artist Loft illustration pens. They're very good. It was a present from my lady, and I had never tried physical inking before, and now I've picked that up. So everybody who does draw should check out Artist's Loft illustration pens. They're very great. before I had done the inking on Photoshop, and I've found that actually inking with pens is working a lot better. But generally, you scan it. You can get a regular scanner, a scanner printer. But if you're going to do professional, you're going to have to get like a big scanner. Like I have well, let me take a look here. An Epson GT 15,000. It's going to run you a few thousand. But it's a big size scanner. It scans like that big comic art board and poster paper and all the big stuff. And it's also a clearer image. But if you just want to draw for fun on like 11x7, you can get just a regular like scanner printer hybrid thing, just regular scanner. You would hook that up and you just put your drawing in there. You draw it, it on a paper, put it in the scanner, scan it. You're probably going to have to clean it up in Photoshop because scanner, every little fleck of dust is going to show up as a little speck on your picture. So there's always that process of going through, and it's going to be huge resolution. Going through it, cleaning it up, tweaking the brightness and contrast, and then doing from there, like whether you want to run it through Photoshop, color it, ink it in Photoshop, ink it on physical paper, whatever you want to do. It's all up to you how you do it. Depends if you want to have a traditional feel or a more digital Steven Silver kind of feel, if you're going for the angular American style. It depends. Best thing I would recommend, if you're just starting out, depends on what your art style is. If it's simple and cartoony, I would recommend kind of doing it by hand, and then you could pretty much do some pretty solid stuff on Photoshop to make it serviceable, and you wouldn't have to do a lot with it. If you want to get more extravagant, like some of the DC and Marvel comics, if you want to go the Jim Lee route, you're probably going to have to do a lot on the traditional side, and then a lot on the Photoshop side, but more along the traditional angle. If you're going for something a little closer to like Studio Udon or maybe a little like contemporary anime-esque, you're probably going to do a lot more on Photoshop than you are on paper. Again, it all depends on your art style and what you're going for and how big you like your lines, how much little details you like. Are you a Eiichiro Oda or are you a Kentaro Miura? Are you a Jim Lee? Are you a Jim Lee or are you a Steven Silver? Depends on your art style. But generally, the important things you're going to need: paper, utensils like
what type
pencils,
of paper?
Drawing paper, sketching paper is good, but if you want to really do something more, I guess legit, you want to get this like not storyboard paper. They have it. Yeah, like artboard paper. If you use plain paper, it's gonna come out pretty shitty on the scanner.
Here's a basic. I guess you could say the rundown of papers. You have your sketchbook, good for sketching, not good for scanning, unless like you want to give people an inside look at your sketchbook, but it's going to look like a sketchbook. 11x17 regular print paper, serviceable, not professional, but you can clean it up. You can make it look decent, but you're going to have to spend some time on Photoshop cleaning it up. There are different kinds of paper after that. What I personally use, because I do comics, and that's always been sort of the direction that I go, I use comic artboard, which is 11x17. I use Eon comic artboards. I get it Blue Line Pro or directly from Aeon now. It's EON comic artboards. They're very good. They're ruled, which means that they have the basic rulers on each side, that measurements and all the little lines you can use to line up your ruler, your straight edge to set panels, or if you just want to try to make something straight or symmetrical, you've got all the measurements right there on the edges of your artboard. And now they make them double-sided. Thank you for that, by the way, Eon, that you started doing that, because it was driving me crazy that I was basically wasting them. They were only one-sided, but now they're double-sided.
I use artboards too, but I use the IC ink ones. They're Japanese ones, and one side is blank and one side has the rulers and whatnot. And I use the blank side sometimes just for doing just regular drawings, like sketches and stuff like that, because I like when I ink it, it comes out really nice. So
yeah, I use these for like when I did some comics like I worked on some comics that were like up and coming independent stuff, but none of it ever got published. I kept getting hired for shit that never got printed. That was a bad omen. But when I did that, like it was like for the like my stuff, their stuff, the professional stuff. The comic art board is basically, and it's expensive, not super expensive, but
it's expensive enough.
It's expensive enough. You're not going to be doodling on it. So I use it for the shit that matters, like the shit that is going to be used for something. I think manga paper is like its own thing, similar to artboard, a little bit ruled.
Yeah, it's ruled, but it's really, really, really light. Yeah. And then, but it almost feels like a cardstock. Almost, it's just smoother.
Yeah, so. I would also recommend they have what's called non-photo blue pencils. You don't have to use this. A lot of artists, including myself, do. What it is, it's a colored pencil technically, but it has an eraser. It's erasable. That is a shade of blue so faint the scanner doesn't pick it up, or if it does, only barely. Like mine picks it up, but it's very faint. I still have to go and erase it, but most of it is gone. It's only if I like really had to get specific, and there's a lot of hard pencil in there. But it's good for like if you like sketching the base shape, like kind of just doing the basic, like if you're in a step-by-step of a drawing, you're doing like the basic skeleton and the lines on the face. It's good to start with that. So when you scan it, all that shit, like you don't have to erase it. And then when you scan it, all that shit is just basically gone because it's a shade of blue the scanner either doesn't or has trouble picking up. So I would recommend you and any folks listening look into also Blue Line Pro, the place I mentioned before, sells it, non-photo blue pencils.
Okay.
And they're cheap too. You can get a good pack. I got like 5 packs of them like years ago, and they're still lasting me. I don't even remember when I've got them. I had them so long. And I just got like a shitload of them, and they're still good. And they give you a lot in like a thin pack. It's like a good amount. You get good. Blue Line Pro is good. You get a good amount for the money you pay. I'd recommend folks use them if you're getting into the whole art thing.
So that's a good place to start, and
yes.
I'm going to look into that stuff. And I'm seriously, because I'm doing a lot of children's stuff, and it's be a lot cheaper if I can draw my own stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I did a children's book too, so and it was just easier for me to do it. And I use watercolor for instead of the computer because the watercolor came out more natural and it fit the theme of the story. So sometimes it depends on what you're more comfortable with. So I'm more comfortable with traditional art, but I can do digital art too. It's just if you're more comfortable with just drawing and inking and then just kind of scanning and leaving it alone, then traditional art might be more your style. If not, then you can do digital route. You can just look at tutorials online. Actually, that's how I learned a lot of my digital art stuff besides classes. So
okay. Well, I guess is there anything else for you, JD?
No, I'm good.
All right. And for me, just Anime 3000. Right now we're looking into, I'm glad we had this conversation, as far as like the stores and whatnot. What did you say for your store again? That you're looking for
Redbubble. Here, I'll give you the address.
Okay, Redbubble.
It's Redbubble.
So I was looking in I originally was going to go with this place called Merch Spin, but it's just going to be way too expensive to actually make the shirts. And the only thing I really knew of was Cafe Press, and I've purchased stuff from Cafe Press and used them in the past, and some of the things are good, but across the board, a lot of things fade quickly, and it's just
they're not good. They screw you. I did some research myself. I looked into there's a lot of different places, but Redbubble I saw was like the most highly recommended.
Yeah, so I never heard of Redbubble, so I'll look into them and see what they have to offer. But I pretty much have the concept of what I want to do and move that forward, and doing a little things with Anime 3000 and starting up some few projects like networking projects just to try to help other anime podcasts and other blogs. I'm putting that together, so as soon as more details are out on that, I'll talk about it on the podcast. And I'll talking about doing things for this website I run called ChesterIsCool.com. So if you have a little brother or sister, check that out. Producing shows for that. Check that out. I do the voice of a puppet named Chester D. Dougal, and it's pretty popular. We're around my neck of the woods, so I'm having fun with that. Yeah, and that's about it for me. So with everyone out there, it's a little late here. Everybody, thank you so much for listening, and we appreciate you guys supporting us at anime3000.com. And I never do this, and I meant to do this because it's fun getting voicemails, and we want you guys to definitely reach out to us. You know, comments are great. If you want to comment on each of our show notes, as well as emailing us at contact@anime3000.com. That's a good way of reaching out to us as well. But if you want to leave a voicemail and have yourself heard, just like Jimmy from Tulsa, Oklahoma did today, that's very easy. All you have to do is call us at 954... Pulling it up on the show notes is going too slow. 954-780-6201, and you can actually leave your voice, and it doesn't have to necessarily be about the A3K podcast. If you want to ask a question for JD or Cody or myself, you know, about anything that we discuss on any of our podcasts, shoot it over to us, and we'll mention you and answer it live on the show. So once again, that number is 954-780-6201. And with that being said, we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the A3K Network. Visit our website at anime3000.com to find even more content from the producers of this show. Be sure to share your thoughts about this episode by leaving some feedback in our comments section. Want to be featured on a future episode? Send your questions to contact@anime3000.com and address it to the podcast of your choice. You can even leave a voicemail at 954-780-6201. That's 954-780-6201. And as always, thank you for being you.